Hey, people, what's up? It's another edition of Equilibrium. It's me, Terrence. One of our main staples, John. He may pop in later on, but he had some death in his family. He's out of town. Our thoughts and prayers are with him. I'm sure he'll
Mm-hmm.
be back next Sunday to inject his brand of humor and nonsense and calamity into the show. Terrence should be here momentarily. Um, we're talking about the next episode of Stargirl. I think it's episode 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And
Episode 6.
to me, as always, the show is fire. Like I said, I changed my view on it from the first episode, and I believe I said, there we go, Terrence, right here. So,
What up,
Terrence,
Terrence?
What's up?
What's going on?
I do believe I said that I would give this show 5 episodes to sway my original grade, which was a C minus, and it swayed it way before then. This episode I thought was good as well. I love episodes that show the backstory, and I think last week we were talking about how they got to get training. But this episode, that came to a realization. Before I go any further, I want to let you know this is a full spoiler. Our shows on Sunday about Stargirl are full spoilers because you had all week to watch it. If you ain't watch it from Monday till this Sunday, then I'm just sorry. Just gonna have to click off the channel for about 30, 45 minutes and
Hour,
click back
2 hours.
Yeah. About, yeah. One of the lions ain't here today, so maybe we'll have a chance to
Yeah, let's get some words in today.
eat some of the meat. But anyway, like I said, this show was fantastic. I like the backstory and show stuff. The teenagers and they're arrogant, they think they know everything. And this episode was a very humbling experience. Even Stargirl was trying to say, "Hey, look, we can't do this." And I was pleasantly surprised. She kind of hold her own in some aspects of it more so than the other ones did. Especially the guy that plays our man. He is just super arrogant. Can't tell him nothing. He's a hothead. Until was it Sportsmaster or the Gamesman? I can't think of his name.
Sportsmaster.
Sportsmaster. Sportsmaster put a whipping on his ass. I don't know who
Yep.
that actor is, man, but them gadgets he got in that bag ain't no joke. But we'll break it down from start to finish, and just tell me what do you think of it, Anzo, overall.
Oh,
This
I,
episode.
I think it's my favorite episode so far from start to finish. I mean, when that girl's playing football, she punches the dude in the face. You know what I mean? Coach Bencher, and they stand up like, "Oh yeah, really? Okay." And they catch him in the parking lot, man. And I was like,
It ain't no warning, man. It's like a death sentence.
right?
Uh-huh.
Right? And then you find out it's like what, the fourth or fifth coach
Yeah.
that they killed. So I'm like, damn, bro. And so that's what I'm saying. Like from the start, those guys were no joke. So I knew right away that Stargirl and her team, the JSA, JSA,
JLA.
JLA,
JSA.
JSA. So I was
Yeah,
like, the first
JSA,
time.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the JSA was not going to be able to handle them at all. And they got their ass kicked and they realized that they needed training. And that's exactly what I was hoping for. You know what I mean? I didn't want them to come out there and be, even if they would have held their own, I would have been like, kind of, but they got handled.
Stargirl, she handled her. She
a little bit.
one
But
on one, she wasn't bad, but when they got 2-on-1, and she was outclassed.
right.
But
And
when
she's had a little bit of training with the staff more than them, right? For whatever you want to call it. So yeah. So, but yeah, I agree with that, man. But they got wrecked, and I was happy to see that. And I loved at the end where she's telling them they're not listening to me, and they're this and they're that, and Pat's just sitting there like, "Oh, really? Yeah, really? Yeah, they don't take you serious, eh? Really?"
Yep. That was the best part of the episode there.
Yeah, me too.
Because he damn gave her a dose of her own medicine on that boy.
Yeah, sure did. So like I said, I gave this one an A++. Trust me.
All right, Terrence, what do you think overall, sir?
Oh, from the start, I gotta say that I'm very impressed with how they translated Sportsmaster and Tigress. I was thinking on how they would do that because in the way that the characters move in the comic books, it's gonna have to take a talented group of people to be able to picture what that'll look like visually, and then to get the right choreographer to do those types of movements. So from that, I am very pleased and very impressed that they were able to pull off those translations so well. And then from the jump, I like how while Sportsmaster and Tigress appear to, look like regular individuals, they are not. And we saw that what their response was after their daughter Artemis decided to punch that dude that was talking shit. So he definitely deserved to get his ass beat. Like, I can't stand dudes that just, look down on females just because, like, for no reason. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
I was happy that he got decked in the face. And, naturally that led to her getting benched by the coach. And I like how they confronted the coach in the parking lot, like, so you, how long you gonna keep Artemis there? And he's like, look here, I've dealt with your kind before. I was like, oh, that is like one of those typical lines that a lot of humans will throw out, but they just don't realize that they're dealing with different people.
Mm-hmm.
So I like how Sportsmaster just wrecked this shit with the bat. Like, that shit was funny. Um, but I noticed too that while they're kind of wild and all over the place, you have someone like Icicle that can keep them in check. They have a respect for him. They're like, oh shit, the boss is here. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
man, this is the third, fourth coach y'all done killed. You guys need to stop fucking up. And then they're like, oh well, sir,
You gotta
we've
give us
been
something
waiting
to
to,
do. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
he
we need
he
something to
keeping us
do,
out the game.
right? And because while Icicle is a villain, he's very calculative and he likes to plan things. So when you're being sloppy, it draws the wrong kind of attention. So I
Mm-hmm.
like how he checked him and he was like, all right, well, since you
Yeah.
need something to do, let me give you an assignment. So I like that. And I do like how they're setting up the Artemis character. I like that because she's a badass herself. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious to see what they're gonna do with her. They'll probably give her more to do next season, but I like how they're laying the groundwork for her. And when the team see the thing is that when it comes to Pat, um, he's very patient, he's calm, he gets frustrated from time to time, but for the most part, I like how he responds to these people because you couldn't really put an average person there because they just wouldn't know how to handle it. They snap and they wouldn't know what to do. So Pat is the perfect person to be there, and I like how his genius is subtle, and it's to the point to where you do have to get to know him to understand his value, which is what these characters learned in this episode. Like, he doesn't necessarily have a lot of obvious stuff, but once you take the time to listen to him, then he will show you like he knows what he's talking about, and he has a
Mm-hmm.
lot of experience dealing with these sorts of people. So I like how the team, came around like, yeah, we should probably listen to Pat. And a lot of that came from the situation where they had to deal with Sportsmaster and Tigress, who more than four times during the fight, I counted that they spared multiple members of the team,
Mm-hmm.
including Stargirl. They were not trying to kill them; they just wanted them out of the way,
Mm-hmm.
and really just to distract them from what the real mission was. Which you see that they completed their mission; they succeeded. Like, okay, we got the codes and different things. It's time to dip out, but they were curious about who they were up against because they looked like people they had already killed, but they understood like, okay, these are definitely some kids. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. So we gonna play with them a little bit and let them know like, hey, if you keep doing the wrong thing, we might have to kill you. So I saw that and I saw that they were definitely struggling, and then at certain points, they got a little lucky. they can get in some blows and stuff. Like I wasn't really impressed by that at all. But
Mm-hmm.
I like how that situation when they all was like backed up against the wall. There wasn't a wall, but in the metaphor, the sense that they were about to get their asses whooped again, even worse, until Pat showed up, and then at that point they realized that they had to fall back because giant robot, like it's a
Mm-hmm.
variable that you don't know about. So I like how they just intelligently backed out of that. But they got lucky, and they realized they got lucky, and I like that they realized that okay, we need training, we need to respect Pat, we need to listen to Pat, because that's not even the full team. They still got like 9 other members to worry about. So, I think now that they've been through that situation, they understand that you
I
know,
don't see how they gonna train Doctor Midnight. She seemed clueless and scared as hell.
her
Like
her
you gonna be
character.
the first one to get killed.
That's what
Yeah,
I was saying last week. I'm like, I don't see her as a superhero. You know
No.
her
what I mean?
well, I mean the original Doctor Midnight, he had a lot of martial arts training. So what they would have to do is, train her up to be able to fight so that way she can use her intelligence with her combative skills because that's what she has. And like
Maybe
they
the
gotta
AI can show us some stuff too. They're gonna
exactly
have,
Mm-hmm.
and teach her how to use the various bombs that he would create, to create the shadows so she can use that while she's fighting. Like she has the advantage of like, okay, you have an AI system helping you. You yourself is actually, Beth is a genius. So you have two different forms of intellect together. So you have that, and then all you got to do is learn how to fight and understand how to put together the weapons, and she will be formidable. But a lot of the different characters at one point or another were
yeah,
considered.
but the only thing is that you ain't gonna get to their level in no few months. They're gonna
I
take
was
years.
just about to say that, right?
Well,
At least Stargirl and Yolanda have a little bit of training. Stargirl with
Yeah,
her acrobatics, Yolanda with her boxing, but she
but
has nothing. Beth has nothing.
and that boy don't have nothing. His super strength is only gonna carry him so far.
Mm-hmm.
well, see, I mean, I'm in like no way worried about that because she has a team. She's not by herself. So the training that she should receive will help her along, but any sort of lacking where she needs more time, that's when the rest of the team falls in. The whole purpose of a team is to turn any sort of weaknesses into strengths. Like, okay, what do we have here together? And you figure out how to work together as a group. So that way, any sort of opponents that you're going against, they can't exploit your
Okay,
weakness because you can
I
exploit
know
it.
what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But superhero 101, if if you ain't got no kind of superpower that can differentiate you from being a casualty, like let's just say the core members of Super Friends. Batman doesn't have any powers, but he got all those gadgets. He got years of martial arts. He's a genius, and he just got unlimited funds to build stuff. Okay, Superman is damn near invulnerable. Wonder Woman, same thing. Aquaman, he got water powers and he's strong as fuck. The Flash is fast. Green Lantern has the Green Lantern ring that can make any kind of construct he can think of. And Cyborg, well, he got the strength and he got the computer stuff. But in this scenario, she don't have all she does is the AI. If the AI gets ripped off her head, right now she is a serious liability. And then the way I understand it, if the staff gets too far away from Stargirl, she ain't much of nothing either.
Right, right. See, and that's exactly it. These characters, they need their training, and they can only do so much in the time period depending on how fast the Injustice Society attacks as a group. But even
Right.
still, like Pat's gonna let them know what they should be doing. In terms of Beth, they're not going to place her in direct danger because they realize that she's the most underdeveloped on a physical level. So
Mm-hmm.
what they will do is probably Pat will probably tell her that she should not be going into certain situations that pose the most danger for the
Yeah.
time being. Because with the JSA, or even like the All Star Squadron, they have weaker members, and what they do is they remain in the background and they help in some other kind of way. Sometimes they can prepare the group for what they need to do from a strategic standpoint, which is good because sometimes they have these really powerful characters, but they're not smart. So they go into situations and they get wrecked anyway. So Beth could be sort of like the guiding hand until she can become a physical threat.
Yeah, but Beth better not even be in the background. She better be in another room,
Well,
right?
I mean,
She better be at the headquarters like Cisco does and talking
Yep.
to them that way. She better not be in the
well, I
field.
mean, but I mean, in the
Yeah.
case of Vibe,
She,
he's actually much more of a threat.
Oh, no, no, I
she
get
gonna
it. No, no, I get
she
it. Yeah.
gonna have she gonna have to be like do recon stuff. She
That
Mm-hmm.
can't be
that's
in the
what I, that's
she
what I,
can't be in that.
that's exactly what I'm saying. Like every character has their use, no matter what it is. It's like because normally, like people will focus on the powers and the physical attributes, but intellect is very important. So she has her place. So I'm not worried about her if she does get kidnapped or snatched from the headquarters or something like that. They'll figure out a way to get her back, but she may be able to think her way out of it. Figure out how to weasel out of it or something. So
Mm-hmm.
um,
I don't like the hour man thing either. He gotta have more time than that. Cause
um,
what?
I had that conversation with Terrence the other day too. I'm like, what happens if the fight goes longer than an hour?
Yeah. You
well,
gotta
I mean, and
maybe that book he can figure out that formula and add more time. Cause an hour,
well,
sheesh.
I mean, but realistically though, like how I stated, the odds of you having a fight that's going to go for more than an hour is not going to happen most of the time. Like the original Hour Man, when he decided to limit his powers to an hour, because he had like, okay, well, should I do it an hour? Should it be 15, or should it just be something that goes on? But he determined that if he left it on indefinitely, while it would give him immense strength, it would also drain his physical stature, which would kill him faster. So he just learned how to make the most out of the 60 minutes. And with his genius, he was able to do that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but
So,
that makes sense to me what you're saying. I wouldn't want it to be continuous thing, but I would want to maybe control that hour. Okay, I can use it for 1 hour. I'm gonna use this fight for 5 minutes, then cut it off. Yeah, kind of something else.
right,
You cut it back on.
exactly. And that
But
that's that's
but
that,
look like
that's
but look
smart
like
how you
once
said that. Yeah.
once he flips that thing, it energizes his body, and the clock stops. Then you got to figure where he can cut it off and on.
Right. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. The original Hour Man, he did figure out how to turn it on and off because like it was always dependent on the mission. Like, okay, well, normally the JSA they got all kinds of powerful heroes and magicians and the whole nine. So it was like, okay, well, I'll probably only need it for like 5 minutes, or maybe 10 minutes, and he would calculate. Sometimes he might be wrong, like he might even need it for 40 minutes, but when it ever gets to the point to where he's only got 5-10 minutes left, he still has Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Green Lantern, so he'll be fine.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I get what you're saying. He will be fine. But let's say, right? Okay, let's say just what happened, they're going on a mission, right? So he starts up his hourglass, or before they get like into the building or whatever, they go through their mission, and then 30 minutes, or maybe let's say 40 minutes into him having the power on, that's when they encounter the bad guys and the fight starts. You know what I mean? He has to pick his times when he's going to use that hourglass.
Yeah, he does, but because
Does the
see,
hourglass only make him strong, or does it make him invulnerable too?
it does a little bit of both. Like the invulnerability is not like Shazam or Superman or anything like that, but it allows him to take a lot of damage. So, but in the case of Our Man, how you saw him getting wrecked and stuff, he doesn't know how to use it yet. You have to learn how to use it, like in terms of distributing the strength correctly. And because
Kind
he
of
just
like
kind of went in there,
Man of Steel too. I mean,
right,
kind of like Man of Steel. He had to
right,
learn
How to use his
what.
power.
Yeah,
right, exactly. And it's really different because in the comics when he's by himself, it's very different in terms of when he's with the group. Because when he's by himself, you don't have any sort of fallbacks. So you have to be really careful with the situations that you get yourself in. Like if he goes out on a mission where he has to look for people or get something, he can't have that on the whole time. Like so he would usually only turn it on if he's throwing down, like, okay, shit, there's an army of people, there's this and that. And then if he notices that he's like maybe a couple minutes of strength left, he's like, fuck, he might start to panic a little bit, but he'll figure out a way to retreat
Mm.
because he doesn't have his team. So no matter what characters they are, the strengths and the weaknesses, they're always going to write them in a way to where they're going to get wrecked. Superman gets wrecked all the time and he's Superman.
yeah.
So,
I'm thinking. I could be wrong. I'm thinking that Icicle's son is going to befriend him some kind of way, and I think that Genie gonna pick him. That Jen or
yeah,
whatever the heck.
yeah. The Thunderbolt very well could pick him. That's good. I didn't think about Thunderbolt connected to Icicle's son, but that's possible. In terms of his selection process, it can get a bit complex in terms of what he would want out of a person. But if we start to see Icicle's son around him a little bit more, then yeah, that could definitely be something, Danny.
Because every episode they show that pin in the cup holder,
Right,
and you can hear a little snicker. So
right.
he gonna now. One thing I hope he don't. I hope he don't pick that damn son.
Um,
That what?
The little boy, the son,
Oh.
the
Mhm.
brother.
Oh yeah.
you know what? You know what? That's actually possible because if you look at the personality of the son, and if I compare that to Thunderbolt's personality, they're they're very similar in a way. Like I feel like there's a chance that he might latch on to him. He might be like, man, this kid is just as crazy as I am. When in
God,
turn the brother is not crazy. He's a little bit different, but the Jin is actually just out of his damn mind. So that would be interesting to see that happen, and then have him panic and not know what to do with the Jin, and then they got to calm him down, and that can prove to be something interesting.
And does the girl bully, does she have powers? Because it looked like I seen that in the clip.
Oh, you talking about the Asian chick?
Yeah, the
no,
bully one.
Yeah, that's apparently that's Shiv. So that's gonna be Dragon King's daughter, the one that he's been working on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
what Asian chick?
The bully one, the one that was like, oh, come here, and then she
Sen-
got in Stargirl's face like, you won't see me coming, get out my way, bitch, and
yeah,
She was
sent.
Asian. I thought she was a blonde headed lady.
oh, I mean, she might not be Asian. I mean, I thought she was,
I thought she was a
um,
white girl, blonde headed white
yes,
girl.
yeah, to me, she looked like she was either Hispanic or Asian. But considering the reason why, like, I'm going with her being Asian is because Dragon King himself is Japanese. He's a Japanese war criminal from World War II. So it makes sense. But
Well, it would definitely explain why she's such a bitch, right?
right,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. So hopefully
yeah,
we'll see. Because I saw in the clip and I'm like, wait a minute, the bully looks like she has some sort of powers. I'm like, they okay? And now you're telling me it's his daughter. I'm like, okay, I get it.
yeah. Because I mean that's what I got from the clip because she was wearing the Shiv armor that she has in the comics. So that was done through various enhancements and scientific experiments and stuff like that. And I saw her in a scene with Dragon King. Now that was out of context, but
Hmm.
the episode is called Shiv Part One. So there's supposed to be a Shiv Part One and Two. So
Hmm.
it just seems like it's lining up that way.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
How do you see these episodes before everybody else?
Oh, the on the DC streaming service, it comes out Sunday night, and then it airs on the CW Tuesday night. So that's
Okay.
if you because it's a DC Universe show. If you have that, you can watch it before most
Then
people will watch
I was told on the black market it comes out on Monday nights.
It
it.
hits. It hits.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
sometimes. Well, sometimes it hits my Android box about midnight. So I go on midnight and boom, it was there.
The Canadian black market.
Yeah, it works. I'm good with it. You
yeah.
guys don't
Because
give a shit anyway, so we might as well steal it.
I mean that's a good question though, Danny. Because it's like there's only a small percentage of people that have that streaming service, and like
I don't have
uh,
it. I don't need another damn streaming service.
and it's like I've talked to some humans that they didn't know about it, and they actually ended up getting it. They're like, I didn't even know they had a streaming service because they were trying to watch or figure out where the like Doom Patrol and Titan. They're like, that don't come on the CW. Where does it come on at? And then they just need to market that more. That's the problem. But that's how you can watch it early though.
I'm just holding out for HBO Max.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get long enough to watch Snyder Cut, and then I'm gonna bloop.
So
got you.
you're gonna get it for Snyder Cut and then cut it off.
That's it.
That's why this HBO Max is gonna do them hour-long series, and they'll probably put one out every week, just so that they could at least keep you for a month or two, get two payments from you, and then bounce.
No, what I'm gonna do is I can wait the whole month and just get it and watch all four at one time and cut off the same damn day.
Yeah, you could do that. You could
Yeah,
do
no,
that.
I hear that. That does make sense. But man, you know how it is in our community, man. It just be all these spoilers and stuff, and I'm like, man, try to watch it as soon as I can.
I'm sure somebody will put it on YouTube and I'll watch it on YouTube for free.
Right.
But
I would imagine that you would have to jump on that fast because they'd snatch that down quick. Like you can have like segments, but if somebody like, hey, I got the first 3 hours up here on my, but okay,
shoot, I'll be hooking it up quick as I could.
right,
Bloop. So
yep.
what do you
Because if
give
you,
it? I gave
oh,
this I gave this episode an A. Um, Anzo gave it a plus plus. So what do you give it, Terrence?
yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10. For
See,
me, um, for me, the whole show, I've been just really, really impressed. Just in the way of the translations and how they've been doing the villains and then the JSA lore. It's to me, it's something where I would call it an acquired taste. Like certain people will vibe with it, others won't. But I feel that if you do it the right way, at least the people that are watching can have some good things to say about it. Whether they like the show overall or they just like this character or that character. So I'm very, very happy with it.
you know what? But they are doing it the right way. And that's why it's so good. They're doing it the right way. You can have all your, female strong lead, as long as you're not throwing it in our faces and putting up a good story. It's all good, man. I'll watch this show religiously. I'm waiting for tonight to watch the episode tonight because now you got me interested about the bully girl. What's her name?
Uh, I forgot her damn name. The
She's the one
bully.
she's the one that sent the picture and everything, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. I'm excited to see that now. I want to know what
Mhm.
happens, you know? And there's not too many shows on TV that have me feeling like that. So,
Well, I see two of the bad guys gonna have to be villains. So I imagine she's gonna be one. They look like Brainwave's son is developing some powers too.
yeah,
So I'm
Yeah,
you might
thinking
be right.
she's gonna be the second one
yeah.
because it went off them saying we got to find out who this new JSA is.
Hmm.
So when they found out it's kids, which I don't know why Sportsman and Huntress or Tigress, whatever the hell her name is, I don't know why they didn't tell. icicle they were because they could see firsthand. Because in fact, when he first hit, oh man, he said, "Stay down, kid." So
Mm-hmm.
they
Well,
know they're young.
well, that's why Sportsmaster said that's not the original JSA. We killed them. Like he
Yeah.
knows that, and it's like they and then once they start looking into it more, they will see, okay, these are definitely some kids. Do they go to the school or where they at? And then also there are people missing. Green Lantern's not there, Dr. Fate, so they will probably try to get their hands on all of that to ensure that they don't recruit them. Which if they get a Dr. Fate, like that alone should just be able to kill all of them in their sleep. So I would imagine that they would try to get that damn helmet.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
it's like
the
you
sport
said. Oh, go ahead, Danny.
the sport master had some kind of super soldier serum or something because like he was jump
Um,
halfway across the damn parking
well,
lot on one.
he in the comics he's naturally very strong. At certain points he's done enhancements in terms of like injections and weird stuff. But for the most part, he's just a guy that's naturally like peak human condition. He has a lot of martial arts training. This is a dude that he can fight Deathstroke, he can fight Black Manta, he can fight Batman. He ain't gonna necessarily mop the floor with him, but he's that good. And then Tigress is somewhere around there. So I'm like, you're dealing with some of the best martial artists in the DC universe. So that's why I'm like, no, those kids are dead if they decide that they want them to die.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, right? Because we saw what they did to the originals. So if they
Yeah.
had to fight like all of them at one time, there is absolutely no way those kids are winning.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to fight each villain one at a time, and that way they
Right.
can maybe team up and get a drop on them. But if they're fighting them all at the same time, there's no way.
Right.
And
And yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like the way they get the cosmic staff having their own personality and crawling under the bed and doing all that crap. I don't. They
Well, I
need to,
mean,
they need
it
they need to stay away from that.
like the thing with that is clearly pulling off of Courtney's stuff because when she came in when she was scared and shit like, oh shit, Pat's in my room, then the staff did sort of the same thing like, oh shoot, I need to hide away, I'm caught kind of thing.
Mm.
Um, like I'm okay with it. Like it's not really uh
You know how
anything that
some people.
bothers me.
Okay, you know how some people said during the Mandalorian they didn't like the Taika Waititi episode because he had too much comedy in it,
Mm-hmm.
and that they
Mhm.
didn't like the part with the stormtroopers hitting Baby Yoda and couldn't shoot and
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. And the humor, they didn't like that. I'm kind of feeling a little bit like that. Okay, it ain't totally throwing me off, but I could do a little less of that.
I get you
Oh,
because I didn't like them punching Baby Yoda either. I was like,
I
yo,
thought I thought that was awesome. Like it to me
no,
when
bro, you
when
can't
they when
punch
they
Baby Yoda.
nah like I like Baby Yoda, but to me when I saw that, I was like, okay, they're willing to tell a certain kind of story because what I don't like is nowadays everything is a problem. You can't do, you can't say, you can't look. So the fact that they did that, while I'm not saying like, oh man, that's the greatest thing, I'm like, okay, they took what would be considered a risk because they knew that that would get a type of response. And nowadays people are all about cancel this, cancel that. I'm like, to take some risks from time to time. If it don't work, fine, but don't be afraid to do something. That's all I'm saying.
I was happy when those dudes got wrecked for hitting Baby Yoda. When they hit him, I was like, yo, what the fuck, am I eating the fucking baby like that and shit? So when they got wrecked, I was like, yes,
I,
wreck
I'm I'm not I'm not gonna lie. Like if I were out and about in the universe and something green bit me, I'd have shot it. It'd have got shot in the face.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
uh, well, do we have any final questions, comments, statements about Stargirl episode 6? Because if not, we're gonna try to hit the chat for a little bit and answer any questions. And then we move on to the second phase of the show.
Nope, I'm good. The show is a A+ for me. It keep it going. I want to see more. So
Um,
Okay.
I guess I should add with Dragon King. Uh, when they get him in a scene, I think that uh, depending on how much information they have, they may think he's only a scientist, but he's actually a master hand to hand combatant. So if they play that up in a scene, you could get another good fight scene with him. Just like, oh,
Shit,
look at
it
him.
look like he got scales on his face to me.
Yeah, he does, and they might go into that because the character in the comics, like him being a Japanese World War II criminal, like he looked normal. In fact, now that I think about it, there was a scene where the fucking mean chick from the school, like when she was putting on her like vampire teeth and costume, she
hmm
had a
Mhm.
picture on the mirror of a Japanese guy. That might be how Dragon King looked before he did whatever he did to himself.
God damn, you guys notice all this crap. I'm like, well, Danny said looked like he had scales on his face. When?
Yeah,
Yeah,
when he was talking to Icicle, you could see right at his eyes.
Really? I
It
didn't
looked,
notice that.
yeah,
it looked
yeah.
like snake scales, and then his eyes were slitted like a snake. His
Hey, I
eyeballs,
I didn't notice
Yeah.
that.
yeah, they weren't round like ours. They were like a snake eyes.
Oh,
Right, right. And you know what? Like they probably not gonna do all this, but there was a section where it was during World War II. It was him, and then it was Adolf Hitler, and they were allies and shit. And like uh the All-Star Squadron and a couple other people had to work together to stop them because they had the Spear of Destiny. So imagine Dragon King with Adolf Hitler, and they got the Spear of Destiny doing all kinds of shit to reality.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they're gonna work that in there. That's probably too much, but there has to be a reason why he got like that with the scales and the eyes. So either he did it to himself or something went wrong with one of the experiments. Like they might get into it. We'll see. We'll see.
I think they're gonna show his backstory. You know, they've showed almost everybody else's backstory. Like when they did a villain, they showed their backstory. So I don't see why they wouldn't do it to him.
Yeah, they'll probably show it. It's just I guess it's just a matter of
When?
I'm
what
gonna
kind of
see if I can.
approach.
I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. Let's cross your fingers.
Alrighty.
God,
Yeah, because
I'm
no,
talking
Danny's right though. When I saw Dragon King, because I was paying attention to his eyes and stuff, because he normally cloaks his face and stuff, and I
hmm
was thinking like, man, what did he do to himself, or what did somebody do to him? Just that sort of thing.
mm Got you.
Are you trying
oh,
to
let's see.
scene, Danny, or what you trying to do?
Trying to pull up that scene.
Okay.
I hope it'll play it.
If not, I can pull it up and you can share my screen if that's the case. I don't know if that'll work out any differently.
Yeah, he can. I guess when you pull it up, like how Danny can isolate a certain screen, like you could do that,
hmm
Danny.
Oh, looks like he froze. He tried. and
Um,
he is gone.
Danny, I don't know if you can hear me, but Anzo said that he can pull it up. So if you can let Anzo do that, and then like how you zoom in on one of the
hmm
screens, you can do that, and then we can all see it for a
Yeah, I
moment.
actually think Danny is gone, my friend.
Oh damn.
He's he is frozen. So let's see. What's his name?
Uh,
Dragon King?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Put like Dragon King talks to Icicle or something like that. So Danny comes
Yeah,
back.
I think I have it here. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I have it there. So if he ever is ready, just let me know.
All right, give him like a minute or two, and then
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
play it.
because he had to log out and log back in. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. So what's up? What's new with you, bro?
Oh, chilling, man. How about you?
Oh, same old, same old. Had a pretty decent day yesterday for the birthday. You know, I chilled, got cake, got catered to.
Nice, nice.
Mm.
Did you
It's
you end up going anywhere, or you just kind of stayed indoors?
went downtown during the day just to chill out. Did a little shopping, but not really much going on here since it's not completely opened up. Right, so we just chilled and
So
and then
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask, was your son with you, or
Yeah, he was here, but he's still doing his own thing. You know what I mean?
got
He was there, but he's still doing his own thing.
yeah, he was there, but
He's still doing his own thing. You know what I mean?
My computer's like, there's too much
All right.
pressure.
hey,
So
yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna play it, and you try and share my screen, okay, Danny?
All right.
See if that works. Uh, share screen. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Share to here. Nope. One. Did you get it?
okay, there it goes. See something.
It's working.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, I'm gonna play it now.
All
all
right.
right.
Did you get share auto?
Oh shoot! You guys can't hear it.
No, we can't hear it.
Okay, hold on. I
Gotta click
did.
that little box that says share audio.
Okay. I think I have to stop it and do it again.
Yeah, stop it, and do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna see a little box on the bottom left that says share audio. Make sure you click that too.
Uh, okay, hold on. Uh, your screen share, but where do you see share audio?
When you click on it, it's gonna say share your screen. Then you're gonna see at the very bottom share audio. You gotta click that box.
Mm. Let's see.
At the
Hold
bottom
on.
when you click share screen,
Yeah,
time as you click that, it should pop up. Then I have your entire screen, application window, Chrome tab. You see that?
I see all that, but I don't see because I don't
At
see.
the very bottom of that, it should be a share audio right beside share and cancel.
Yeah, for sure. I don't have that. I have
Okay,
your
this
entire screen window.
all right. Send it again. I got share audio.
I have to move over to get it.
Yeah, because if anything, if we can't get the audio, then at least we'll have the visuals. So
No, I got. I think you guys can get it now. So let me go back, and here we go.
okay, got it.
You got the audio?
Yeah, I can hear a little something. Let me see. Oh no, thought I could hear it. Never mind.
You can hear it now.
No, I can't.
We don't have to worry
Dan,
about hearing it. We're just gonna want to see it.
yeah, yeah,
When
that's
we
what
tell
I'm
you to
saying.
pause it, pause it. All right, see there? Look at his
Yes,
eyes.
yeah,
Oh
I did.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I seen it.
yeah.
Yeah, right
Where he
there.
got the green and shit. Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
look at his eyes, like the green scales of his
yeah,
eyebrows.
yeah. I see.
Hmm.
I keep going a little bit more. I think they'll show another close up if I ain't mistaken. The outfit ain't nothing like something that a damn butcher wear. If you look at it
Mm-hmm.
painted.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, there it was.
See how his eyes closed like a damn
Yeah,
snake.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Well, I don't want to get copyright infringement, so you can go ahead and end that.
I'm stopping it now.
But that's when I was really impressed. We was talking about that episode, but I said that mask looked kind of like a terry cloth towel.
Mm-hmm.
Like while I was paying attention, I could see his eyes were like snake like, and you could tell his eyebrows look kind of remind me of like Cobra Commander or something off the damn cartoons.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what
It's
I was saying.
funny
Yeah.
that I never noticed that until you guys just mentioned it. Like when I first seen it, I didn't notice that thing.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know. I guess because maybe my Android box, the scenes look a little darker than they should. Because like I was telling Terrence, some of that fight scene was really dark. You know, really dark, hard to see some fights, some parts of
yeah.
that.
That's some of the problems I have with using those other streaming means,
Mm-hmm.
especially like when the Cody box first came out. Oh my god, I was on it, boy. Like, man, I can watch these movies. Man, they still in the theater, but then you got to go through like 100 of them just to find the one that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And then
It's
every doggone couple of weeks, you got to damn upload it because somebody done blocked that one.
it's it.
It became too much work for me.
It's actually a lot better now, to be
Hmm.
honest with you. Like even the quality of the streams of the shows you watch are a lot better. You know, sometimes you would see that's pixelated or blurry. You don't get that anymore. You get actually good quality shows. So,
That's good. Um, yeah, let me go to these chat questions.
and just so you know, chat, no bootlegging. It's not good.
Kavari said, I wonder if Stargirl Green Lantern references will lead to HBO Max Green Lantern, which Jeff Johns will produce. I don't know. I want to see how Diggle received the box that we assume and think that it's the Green Lantern ring. I've never seen it delivered to someone that way. It
Hmm.
kind of come to him in a less aggressive manner. It kind of like damn near blowed him up.
Yeah, for
And
real.
then the box landed and he opened the box, and so I don't know how they're going to do that, what changes they're going to make. But Jeff Johns is so far, if you look at his body of work with Stargirl, then he's on point. So I hope the same thing would translate into the Green Lantern if that whenever it comes out on HBO Max.
Yeah, me too,
Um.
man.
I I remember when that happened with Diggle, and I
Hmm.
was reading all the articles, and they were gonna show the Green Lantern ring, but they weren't able to because they were saying that they got to save it for the Green Lantern show.
Oh, hmm.
So I don't know if Diggle himself is going to go into that because they also were saying back then too that the Green Arrow and the Canaries, you know, the one with Laurel, Dinah, and
Hmm.
Oliver's daughter, when that show comes out, the Diggle was going to appear on there as a Green Lantern. So
I thought it was the Superman one.
in terms of the Superman and Lois, like I haven't heard too much in regards to any sort of Green Lantern on there. Like it just sounds like a show that I'm only gonna watch because it's Superman, like till I
Yeah,
see something good.
yeah.
Yeah. Kavari follows up with DC is just unstoppable when it comes to the TV universe. I agree
Um,
with you. I think CW superhero shows are better than Marvel superhero shows. I only one I really know of is um what's the one with Agent Coulson,
Agents of Shield.
Agents of Shield. That's the only one I watched, and I lost interest with that. I did. I was watching Humans, and I saw the first 2 episodes, and then skipped the last episode to see how the hell it ended. So I wasn't too impressed with that. Um, but I love Flash. I love Black
Flash.
Lightning. I love Stargirl. I kind of lost interest with um, they what's the other one called? Heroes of Legends of
Legends
Tomorrow.
of Tomorrow.
Whenever they kill, um, I've always been a fan of Firestorm. I don't know why he always just stuck with me, even when I saw him on Super Friends in the '80s.
Yeah.
And when they got rid of him, I just kind of lost my interest with that show.
No, I get that. I mean, throughout the last 6 decades, DC with their live action shows, they've had a lot of great ones. Like Marvel, they've had a few good ones, but it's just in comparison when you talk about the storytelling, the accuracy, the things that they've done, television, like full blown television events, or even just a piece of history like Smallville being for 10 years and all the stuff that that did. In my opinion, there's no comparison. There really isn't.
I agree with you 100%, man. And Danny, just to let you know, Agents of Shield is doing some good shit this season. It's really good. But yeah, when it comes to the shows, CW, DC Universe is hands and shoulders above the rest.
Uh, Kavard also said he thinks that DC villains are superior to Marvel villains. Just my opinion. Uh, I can't argue that that statement. Um,
Neither can I.
Yeah, from no matter what angle I look at it, like from the comic books, I've always thought DC had better characters overall, including villains. Marvel, they have some good stuff too, but it's just when you talk about the quantity and then how much Marvel took from DC and tried to do their own thing, DC, regardless of what time period you're in, and you got Marvel doing better in certain areas, that's fine. But once you really look at this kind of stuff, you're like, nah, DC, they have the makings of everything they need. They
Mm-hmm.
really do.
Mm-hmm. They damn right they do. They just need to translate that to their movies.
Yeah, they need to. Well, I mean, in terms of the DCEU, that's still young. They're like 8 movies in and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and out of the 8, I think 4 of them are great, and then the other 3 to 4, they kind of mix and match with people in terms of how they feel about them. So once that happens, you do get the lack of trust in
Mm-hmm.
comparison to the family friendly formula of the MCU. People they go and they like it. That's cool, but when you're talking to people of the fandom that really know these characters and know what's up, it's like I can give the other people their props. That being Marvel, but at the same time, I always say that it's a bad idea to sleep on DC.
Oh, for sure. 100%. DC just needs to get their stuff together and they'll be able to, like we said earlier, they won't be able to match Marvel, but they can definitely shorten that gap.
Yeah, it's like because to me it's like it's not even so much that they need to uh have like 24 movies in their DCU like Marvel, because even with the 4 films that I believe are great in the DCEU, they did stuff that the MCU movies didn't do. It's
Hmm.
really you're talking about the nature of the popularity and consistency with the money, but I'm always looking at overall product and not so much the quantity of it,
Hmm.
because not while Marvel has a lot, they're not all of the same caliber. But a lot of people look at it as, okay, well, it's from this brand. it is what it is. But once you start breaking them all down, I'm like, well, then I guess that's a whole other conversation.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Hey, Mr. Host, what are you doing over there?
I'm trying to tweet this thing out, bro.
Wait, oh, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
trying to
never
get
do
more.
it
Um, Ninjoy says Stargirl is the best show on TV. Nothing compares to it, in my opinion. I won't say the best show on TV. I will say it's the best comic book show on TV that's currently running now. But I agree with that statement as it relates to comic book shows. It's the best one on there. If memory serves me correct, it's the only one on there because I don't think anything else is playing that's comic book related. I'm not sure about um,
Um, well,
Young
let me
Justice and all that stuff, and I don't watch
let,
that other stuff.
let me think. Okay, you got Stargirl, Agents of Shield, Doom Patrol just started.
Yeah,
So yeah, just those three. So you got two DC and one
yeah,
Marvel.
and one Marvel. Yeah, and I haven't watched any except Stargirl, so I'm gonna choose that one as the best one out of the three,
Yeah,
in my opinion. Um, Next thing I can't remember who asked us to do this, but an individual last week asked us to rank the X-Men movies and also asked us to rank the Harry Potter movies.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
Uh, oh, uh, I did do the ranking for X Men, Danny. I thought
well,
the Harry Potter was the next one, so I didn't do that one.
we agree not to do that because
I ain't
couple,
watching Harry
yeah,
Potter.
yeah. Um, Gus Webb, this is one quick question before we go into that. Marvel needs to get their animated movies up like DC. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
The last good Marvel movie that I remember was Doctor Strange that I saw.
Me too. I like Doctor Strange too.
I can't remember one after that
They
that was
they
good.
they have about like maybe five or six, but like I mean there's no way because when it comes to animation, um, a lot of the adults like even before the comic book stuff got popular, DC animated movies were critically acclaimed. They
Mm-hmm.
had special screenings in the theaters. You know, you had the average Joe adults buying these movies and watching them. So, you know, this is a process that has been maintained for more than 20 years. So Marvel's
Okay,
not doing that. They're not doing that.
Yeah, for
let's
sure.
see. The Ultimate Avengers movies, I've seen that
Oh,
one.
yeah, those are good too.
Ultimate
Yeah.
Avengers 2, I've seen that one. The
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
next Avengers, I watched that one. Trying to see. Next
What?
Avengers Heroes of Tomorrow. That was pretty good. That's when it was the Avengers Children.
I didn't see
And
that one.
and
Me.
Ultron was trying to kill him.
Oh yeah.
I, to me, like,
I
I don't know,
saw
like, I
Iron Man and Hulk Heroes United. I watched that one.
I think I seen that one too.
Iron
Then
Man
they had
doesn't
a,
have any good animated movies.
then they had a Black Widow and versus what is that?
Oh, that was the one with the Punisher. Like,
Avengers Confidential, Black Widow and Punisher.
Yeah.
yeah, like that
Yeah,
one, like that one's cool, but it's not like a DC animated
yeah.
movie. Put it like
Then they had the Invincible Iron Man. I think I watched that one.
Was that the one where he had the case?
No, I think it's one where he was in like Japan, maybe fighting.
that. Yeah,
Okay, no,
I
I never
Um,
seen that one.
I'll give them about five. Where I was like, okay, this is pretty good, but
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they definitely don't have um, the stuff that DC has animated. DC animation is incredible. Like I said, Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. I watched that one.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that was the best one I've seen.
Yeah, me too.
I did like what they did with Planet Hulk. I was like, that's
Yeah,
pretty
Planet
good.
Hulk was good. I like that. Planet Hulk
But
was good.
I didn't like Planet Hulk.
it was
What?
like
Yeah, I didn't
it
like
it it,
Planet.
it was just it. I mean, it's just the whole like I said, with the reputation and the critical accolades and just the whole nine. I mean, just the serious nature. Like whenever uh, DC drops an animated movie, it's a big deal. Like you got the fans that watch it, and then also, which is arguably more important, is the average person. They're like, oh, that's a new animated DC movie. We have to buy that. Like people are buying these movies.
Yeah. Then they
What
had
up,
one.
Fado? Fado's in the.
You said Marvel animated is trash.
I agree with him. I agree with him. Like I said, there's only a few that I like. He said he didn't like a single. I like a few, but other than that, yeah, they're
Because
trash compared to
off the
DC.
top of my head, I can remember the best one was, like I said, Doctor Strange. That's the
Mm-hmm.
only one.
Spider Verse is probably the best one because that's my number one Spider Man movie. I had Spider Man 2 for the longest time, but that one topped it to me.
Spider Verse was the best one, to be honest with you. Spider Verse was the best one. I wasn't even thinking about that one, probably because it came out in the theater first, so I was thinking more of a movie type.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, it was the best one, that's for sure. Doctor Strange and the first Ultimate Avengers are my.
What do you think about Marvel's cartoon shows versus DC cartoon shows?
No comparison. I I will give Marvel
The
these
The
two.
Marvel Spider Mans aren't bad now, and they got one
Mm-hmm.
now called Maximum Carnage. I don't.
I
It comes on like once every 2 weeks or something. Because I got my DVR set for it, and there's only been 3 episodes. And I watched the one that came on this past week, where it was like the whole planet of the symbiotes where Venom was from was attacking Earth, and the Guardians of the Galaxy gave Groot a message to take the Peter, but it messed up. But anyway, they attacked all of the Earth's heroes. Iron Man was a symbiote. The Hulk was a symbiote. Um, they showed Ironheart. Everybody in the Avengers was Captain America, and the only person that wasn't was Spider Man and Moon Knight, and they had to save the day. It was a pretty
Hmm.
good
I
episode.
I will give them three. That is the '90s Spider Man, the '90s
Mm-hmm.
X Men, and
Mm-hmm.
Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Everything else very mediocre in comparison to Justice League, Batman the animated series, the Batman, Young Justice. I mean, we could just go on and on and on to where you have these amazing DC shows to where Marvel just got a couple.
You guys are
Yeah,
forgetting Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
and that was my joint when I was a little boy in the
Me
'80s.
too. Me
I'm gonna
too,
tell you,
man.
I
I'm gonna
can't.
tell you a story. I remember right now. It was a Saturday afternoon, man, and it came on like 10:30. And I heard this
Mm-hmm.
ding dong at my door. And I was like, I went to the door and it was these two Jehovah Witnesses. And man, it was trying to give me all kind of stuff to read and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, ma'am, I'm not interested. No one's here but me. I was trying to be nice, man. Then finally, it got kind of ugly at the end, man. I said, look, I'm not interested, and slammed the door and shit. By the time I walked back to the TV, man, it was going off. So, boy, you talking about mad? Boy, man, about
Yeah,
two
man.
hours, man, I guarantee you could fry some eggs on my forehead. I cussed some women out. Come here with that mess, man. But I love that. I love that show.
Me too.
I I mean, I have different categories. You know, they have some cool ones, but in terms of I guess ones that can spark a really long conversation, I'm only going to mention just really the three that I mentioned to where
I
I
got
really
you.
feel that there's a fight for them.
Mm-hmm.
Fiddle J said, I don't like a single Marvel animated except for their 90s cartoons. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about Spectacular Spider Man, Fatal? Spectacular Spider Man wasn't bad. I like their villains, the
It
way he
was
threw that.
good.
I don't need this. I don't see Spider Verse as an animated Marvel, though.
Spec, you said Spectacular Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Yeah, I couldn't stand that one. I thought that was
Uh,
trash.
and I think the worst one was that MTV Spider Man. Oh, my God.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that one
that
was
was
horrible.
even worse. When I thought
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it couldn't get worse, but man,
Yeah. Fatal said Spider Verse is a big budget movie. I can see that. Ninja says Spider Man 1994, X Men, and Spectacular Spider Man are the best Marvel cartoons. I give them that, but to me, the best Batman cartoon. I know people are gonna be mad, but I like the Batman better than.
Batman the animated series.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I'm not mad at you for that because that one is good too. I
Mm-hmm.
just think that to me the Batman, it has a sort of, it gets a lot of cool points, right? But to me,
Mm-hmm.
like, I honestly, out of all these animated shows, like I feel like specifically comic book related, the storytelling of Batman the animated series is just on a level of its own. Like I don't think I've ever been as impressed with comic book animated stuff as Batman the animated series.
Mm.
Gus Webb says they should do a Thor, Black Widow, and Black Panther coming of age animated movie. I think they already did that, bro. I done seen the Thor where he had to find the hammer. Uh, Not the Black Widow, but if you watch that, the one with when all the Avengers are dead except for Iron Man and the Hulk, and they are protecting the children. It's Captain America's son, Thor's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
Black Panther's son, and Bumblebee's son. I think not Bumblebee, but what's her damn name? The Wasp.
The
The
Wasp.
Wasp's son. That's pretty good.
Can you guys give me a few moments? I'm still gonna be listening, but yeah.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
If they make Planet Hulk 2 movie, I think there was.
Maybe.
If you watch World War Hulk, that's pretty much what Planet Hulk turns into. World War Hulk, my understanding.
There was a World War Hulk movie.
Oh no, but I'm saying
Oh.
Planet Hulk evolved into World War Hulk
Mm-hmm.
in the comic books.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm thinking he wants to see a World War Hulk animated. I guess
That'd probably be pretty cool to watch.
it would.
All right. Next, we're gonna go to ranking the top 12 X-Men movies. I forgot which uh person in the chat wanted us to do that. I hope he's here. I thought it was Ghostfire. I thought who it was, but I don't see him here today. But I thought,
Yeah, I don't see him either. It
but
could
we're
have been
going.
him, but we'll do it.
Yeah,
He'll probably watch it on the replay. So
yeah. I'll go first. My
sure.
number 12 was X-Men Origins Wolverine, which came out in 2009. I thought that was trash. I don't know why X-Men even made that movie. The special effects was trash, especially at the end when they were on
Mm-hmm.
that nuclear reactor or whatever you call that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't like it. I didn't like how they did Weapon X, which I guess was supposed to be Deadpool. I just thought that was very stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't like it. Didn't like the way they did Gambit. I didn't like the way Sabretooth went and killed everybody in the team. Um, it just was not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Number 11 is X-Men Apocalypse, which came out in 2016, I believe. I thought this was going to be hype because Apocalypse on the cartoons, man, is just like a beast, buddy. Which he was a beast on here, but I don't like his look and the way he picked his four horsemen. I wouldn't have picked none of those, maybe except Magneto, but the other three I wouldn't have picked. But I know him picking Angel is comic book accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it really wasn't my. I watched it. I'll probably watch it again, but um, I just didn't like some aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Deadpool 2. I've never watched this movie in its entirety. Just did not catch my attention at all. I might watch maybe a total of 15, 20 minutes of the movie before I either went to sleep on it or changed the channel, got bored with it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it was just a dud. I've heard that Domino steals the scene. I haven't even watched her scenes, so I don't know whether she was good or bad. But just were not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lorena Creole, thank you, man, for dropping in. We appreciate it.
Thanks for coming by.
Uh, Number 9 is X Men Last Stand. Came out in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that. It wasn't my least favorite, as you can tell, but um, just it's kind of underwhelming to me. It was meh. Um, will I watch it if it comes on again? Probably, but I will not watch X Men Origins ever again. Um, I've only seen it once or twice. It won't be again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this may be a surprise. My number 8, Dark Phoenix. I don't think Dark Phoenix was as bad as people said it was.
Mm-hmm.
I actually enjoyed it. I like the end where um, when Dark Phoenix, I can't think of her name, Jean Grey, and when she finally embraced those powers she had, she kicked that other woman's ass. And the
Mm-hmm.
suits were comic book accurate. I didn't care the way they killed off Mystique. I wouldn't have done that. But the transition from where Beast was kind of lost his respect for the professor, and Magneto had his following in that little small town and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Was able to stop the military from doing something crazy. I like that. And then when he found out that Mystique was dead, he was grieving, and then he went to try to help um, contain Jean Grey. All that I like that. So I don't think that Dark Phoenix was as bad as people make out. It's not the worst movie in this franchise, in my opinion.
Not at
Number
all.
7. Number 7 is the Wolverine. I like that. Did not like the Silver Samurai.
Mm-hmm.
Did not like the way they did him. I thought that was totally not even remotely comic book accurate. If I'm not mistaken, in the comic book, he can travel through time with that sword. I thought he could, but the way
Yeah.
they had it, the way they had it done, he was trying to steal Wolverine's power and stuff, and then he had to cut off his claws and stuff and drill into that. I didn't understand that, but um, I like the part where he finally got that thing out of his chest that was making him weak. And he fought that daddy in the laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that I love that scene. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And then when he was coming to try to save the girl, and all the ninjas was shooting the arrows into him, hell, it took probably about 50 arrows to stop that sucker.
Mm-hmm.
But, number 6 is X Men, the first one movie, which kind of whet our appetites for X Men. Um, that came out in 2000. I liked it. Um, didn't care for Magneto trying to transfer his powers to Rogue. You know, I thought he was strong enough to do it without killing, but if he did it so many times, it would kill him. So he kind of went the punk way out and try to give it to her, and then have her get killed. But the
Mm-hmm.
thoughts of transferring making all everybody mutants, that sounds like something Magneto would do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Number 5 is Deadpool, the first Deadpool. I thought it was an awesome movie. I liked it. Ryan Reynolds was born to play that role. So I think that it was a very good movie. Yeah, again, with appetites, we saw Toad, we saw um, Sabretooth, Wolverine, all the core characters, core villains. So I like X Men. I'll definitely watch it again each time I see it comes on. It was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Number 4 is X Men 2, X Men United. I think that's the one, if I remember correctly, when Magneto team up with X Men. They were trying to do something, take the X Men's power. I think that's the one when they broke into Charles Xavier's school. Trying,
When Stryker did.
yeah, Striker,
Yeah.
yeah, and they had to team up to get rid of Striker because Striker was just trying to steal them, and I guess make all of them weaponize all their powers and stuff, study them and all this kind of stuff. Um, it's one of my favorites. My top three. Number 3 is X Men First Class. Awesome movie. I love it. Um, I love
Oh,
how
I'm back, y'all.
uh, I like how they went to recruit all the different people, and then the part that Kevin Bacon played. I can't think of his name, who he played. Um,
You talking about Sebastian Shaw?
yeah, Sebastian Shaw.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was perfect for that role. Just his arrogance and how he just thought that he um, couldn't be stopped. How he made Magneto either produce his powers or kill his mom and all that kind of stuff. And the way Magneto got him back at the end, how he kind of took Sebastian Shaw's own helmet and made it his own helmet.
Mhm.
So that's one of my favorite. X Men First Class is one of my favorites. Number two is Logan. Um, the movie was sad. I almost wanted to cry at the end. Cause like, how can you kill off Wolverine? But I guess Jack um, got tired of playing Wolverine. I can imagine because for 10 years he been playing Wolverine. Got to have that special diet and all that kind of stuff, and live a certain kind of way. I know he probably is like, oh god, I gotta eat what the hell I want to eat now. But
Mhm.
It
but
was
Logan,
it was actually for almost 20 years because he started in 2000.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Logan came out in 2017. So for 17 years he played doggone
Wolverine.
Wolverine. And my first and my best and last movie that I love is X Men: Days of Future Past. I love the whole premise of that. How they were in the future and then send Logan back, and he had to reconnect with Charles. Charles is going through dark times, and he's always the one that seems to be persevering and getting people to maximize their potential. Then the same thing had to happen to him. Wolverine had to get him back on the horse, so to speak, get his mind right, and was able to convince him what he had to do here in the past to save the future. So to me, it was best written. I love the whole storyline. I love the power that Magneto showed. He lifted that whole damn baseball stadium and
Mhm.
reconfigured the robots, the Sentinels. To me, that's just the best one. So those are my top 12 from worst to best.
Excellent. Good list, man.
Uh,
Good list. Now you know me. I don't agree with some of your order, right?
yeah, I
so
can imagine.
so your top three, I'm cool with. My 12, the worst one to me is Age of Apocalypse. Now, to be honest with you, the last three you could probably, maybe even the last four, you could probably switch them up to one being 12 or anything. But Age of Apocalypse was just absolutely trash. I loved Apocalypse in the cartoon and in the comics, and in the movie, they made him look like a goddamn Power Ranger. Not only was he purple, he was shorter than half of the X-Men that were with him. Like he looked like he was on the same height level as Storm. So I'm like, no, that is not Apocalypse. And just what they did with the story with Magneto going over to his side, but he never really made Magneto a horseman. And Magneto still had, his own powers and whatever, his own will. I just it just ruined it for me. And the reason why it also ruined it is because Days of Future Past I loved, and I was expecting Apocalypse to build on that, be ever even better. Because when they show that last um, end credit scene where they're screaming out his name, and I'm like, oh yes, Apocalypse is coming, and then that's what we got. Number 11 is going to be Wolverine's Origins. I hate that movie with a passion. It is so trash. I hate what they did to Gambit. I hate what they did to the Blob. I hate what they did to Deadpool. I just, there's nothing redeeming about that movie. I even said many times I don't like the fact that they made um, Sabretooth and Wolverine brothers, step brothers, or whatever you want to call it. I just don't like that movie. Number 10 is the Wolverine. Now, I did not like the Wolverine either because I was a big Silver Samurai character in the comic. I loved this character. And then when I seen him in the movie, I'm like, that's not him. and the movie was just boring to me. Like I didn't want to see I didn't want to see Wolverine in Japan or anything like that. You know what I mean? When I watch an X Men movie, a Wolverine movie, I want to see Wolverine do Wolverine stuff, and I don't think he really did enough in
So
that.
you said your number 10 is Wolverine, the Wolverine.
The Wolverine, yeah.
Okay.
And number 11 is Origins, right? So number 11 is Origins. So 12 Apocalypse, 11 Origins, 10 the Wolverine, 9 X Men 3, and we all know why X Men 3 is trash, right?
The Last Stand.
The Last Stand, yeah. The Last Stand was absolutely horrible. Um, Again, that's another movie that was coming off a good one. So you're anticipating a great movie. They're going with the Phoenix saga in this one. So it's like, oh, I love that story arc in the comic book. I do. I love it. And then they got the movie, and it was like, oh, man, really? What are you doing? They kill off Scott right away. Even they kill him off camera. And Jean Grey is the one that does it. No, sorry. Didn't work for me. Number 8, I'm gonna go with Deadpool 1. A lot of people like Deadpool 1. Yes, I'm going with Deadpool 1. A lot of people like Deadpool 1, and I wasn't feeling it at all. I really
What?
no, I wasn't feeling it. I didn't find the jokes funny. The jokes were not funny. Like when he's sitting there and
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, you look like an avocado. Like your mom slept with an avocado," and I was like, "Not funny."
but when him and Ajax had the conversation back in the lab when Ajax was turning him
Mm-hmm.
into
Not
Deadpool, I thought,
not funny. I didn't find that funny either. Now I'm gonna go with my number 7, which is Deadpool 2, because Deadpool 2 I found a lot funnier than the first one. Like the jokes for me in Deadpool 2 hit, you know? There's a scene in there where Deadpool gets cut in half and then they go see him and he's sitting on the couch with these little baby legs and shit. It was hilarious, right? I found it so funny. So
I seen the
Deadpool,
one where his hand got cut off and he had his hand
right, he
like
had
a
the
little.
little hand, right? But in this one, he has his second half of his body, the bottom part of his body cut off, and he's running around with these little legs and shit. He looks like a baby, basically, right? A grown man with baby legs. So I was like, okay, that one was funny. Number 6, I'm gonna go with Dark Phoenix, which is another movie that I didn't think was as bad as people said it was. Like, it wasn't great, but the fight scene at the end, that train scene at the end,
It
I
was
love that.
good.
Yeah, I love that fight scene, man. I thought it was well put together. You got to see Storm do actual Storm stuff instead of, lightning bolts and this and that. Like she was throwing icicles and everything. And I was like, yes, this is the fight scene that I wanted to see. And when they're locked up in the train and they break out and there's just that little fight scene inside the train cart, I was like, yes, that made the movie for me, right? Number 5, I'm gonna go with the original X-Men, the first X-Men. I mean, that was the first X-Men to come out, and it was okay to me, but there were just some things in it that I didn't really like. Like you said, you know, Magneto punked out. Instead of taking Rogue's power and do it in himself, you know what I mean? He gave it to Rogue and then tried to kill her or something like that, you know? So he definitely punked out on that one. Number 4 is going to be X2. X2 out of the three X-Men movies is the best one. I mean, that opening scene where Nightcrawler is just flying through the house, through the White
White
House.
House.
Yeah,
Yep.
or he's flying through the White House. It's like, oh wow, yeah, that was wicked. Um, the rest of the movie was meh for me, right? But there were certain things in it that, like I said, that was just like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy. Number 3 is First Class. Like you, Danny, man, Kevin Bacon made that movie for me, man. His arrogance. There's a part where he's walking and he just has that strut, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't mess with me. So I was like, yes, I like that. And
Well, that part where that sucker pulled a grenade and he
right,
contained the explosion and stuff. Yeah,
yep, it
the
was, it
special
was,
effects was on point on there.
yeah, he was, and that's the thing. So he was good. I wasn't really happy with the choice of the X-Men that they used for the First Class. You know what I mean? Like the girl with the
With
wings
the
and stuff.
wings,
Yeah.
I
Didn't
think
know.
that I wouldn't have could. I wouldn't have killed. What's one that could adapt anything? I can't. What was his
I,
Darwin.
name? Darwin.
Darwin.
yeah, Darwin.
I didn't like when they killed him. He'd have been cool.
Exactly. They killed him, right? Then they had the girl with the wings. I don't know. I didn't even know who she was, to be honest with you. Um,
Oh,
Angel.
so I was like, okay,
Angel.
what? Hmm?
You said
Yeah,
Angel.
Oh,
yeah,
Angel. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay,
That
yeah.
was if I'm not mistaken, that Lenny Kravitz's daughter, the one that's supposed to be playing
Yeah,
Catwoman,
she
ain't it? She's playing Catwoman in the new Batman.
Oh, it's her.
unfortunately, continue.
Yeah, that's that's Lenny Kravitz's daughter. I can't think of her first name.
um, she was cute from what I remember. So
She did
I
all
might,
right.
yeah,
I
she might
don't,
be able to pull off Catwoman.
think yeah.
She might be able
I don't. I'll get to her when it's my
All right. Number two, and my number one and my number two are it's like a real toss up because I love them both. But I'm gonna go with Days of Future Past for number two, and I love that movie. Right, that was my one of my favorite X-Men movies, hands down. Just the opening scene where the Sentinels are coming in and they're wiping out the X-Men. I loved it. I loved the way they they created them. I loved the way they looked. I loved how they adapted with the X-Men powers. I understand that the way they got them and do it is kind of suspect or whatever, but I do like the Sentinels in that one.
I like the Sentinels when they were in the past.
I
They
like
look more accurate than the ones on the TV. The ones in the future, I didn't like them too much.
the ones in the past did look more accurate, hands down. But for some reason,
Yeah,
I just gravitated. And I like them too, but I gravitated to the ones in the future for some reason. I just thought they looked really cool, and they like those ones there looked like they could really give the X Men problems. You know what I mean? So that's
they
why I
did.
like. Yeah,
You can
exactly.
steal your powers and use it against you. It's
Right, and
crazy.
they were, and the X Men were scared of them. Like they're running, they're hiding. So I like that. But number one, Logan. I loved Logan. And the reason why I think I put it in my number one is because it was one of those movies where when I went to see it, I was like, oh, all right. I remember looking at my son and saying, okay, let's go see this crap. You know what I mean? I'm like, let me go see this crap because with the first two Wolverine movies, I wasn't expecting anything, and then it
Hmm.
starts and those guys try to rob him and he puts those claws through their heads. I stood up in my seat and I was like, yes, I am invested in this movie now. And
I'm gonna tell you what made me love Logan. His little daughter.
yeah, me
She
too.
she yeah. It was just something
yeah,
about her
Laura.
that made me just love the movie even more.
Me too. And this is what I'm saying because when I seen the clip for the movie, I'm like, what is this Thelma and Louise looking X-Men movie they got going on here? You know what I mean? I'm like, these two are traveling in the car, they're like running.
I'm
I'm
gonna,
like, what's
I'm gonna
this?
tell you what was cool too, man. When he fought his younger self, I thought
Yes.
that was cool too.
Me too, 100%. And especially when it first comes into the house and kills Xavier. Xavier thinks it's the real Wolverine and he's telling him he's sorry for what happened. And then it kills him. And then they start fighting. I was like, okay, this is definitely an X-Men
Hmm.
movie. And it's totally different from the comic books, but it was really
Hello.
oop, looks like I got freaked out.
Now you back. You were
Yeah.
frozen, but now you good.
Okay. So what did the last hear where I said Logan was my number one?
Yep.
Yeah, Logan was my number one. That's it.
All right, Terrence, you're next, sir.
All right.
The
So,
hell you got going
You
on there,
doing
bro?
laundry over there, bro?
It's like you
oh,
doing some kind of construction work or something.
oh, yeah, I had to make some adjustments. Um, Before I get into my list, I wanted to let the viewers know that I have seen all the X-Men films in the theaters. Um, the first two I saw once because my mom took my brother and me to see the first two, and then X-Men: The Last Stand on up. I was able to see by myself with friends, and I saw every X-Men film after that at least three times in the theaters. I own every single X-Men movie. Um, and there won't be any New Mutants on this list because I haven't seen it, so I can't rank it.
I don't think
Um,
anybody's seen it yet.
yeah. I just wanted to let the humans know to not forget about that. I didn't forget about it. It's just I haven't seen it. So, um, number 12, X-Men: The Last Stand. Uh, man, like there's just something about a movie that does not understand what it's doing. Very sloppy in the sense of its direction. You are juggling two major storylines and you're messing up both of them. One being The Cure, which alone needs its own movie, where you have the mutants that are for the cure and against the cure, and how that causes a lot of death and destruction because of that particular thing
Mm-hmm.
that was developed by some disgusting humans that felt that mutants should have a choice, but really they wanted to force it upon them. So I'm like, you sort of put that out there like it doesn't matter as a plot point, and then with Dark Phoenix, I'm like, that just seemed to be Jean Grey on her period. I'm like, that was not Dark Phoenix at all. I'm like, what the
Mm-hmm.
hell is this? I felt like there are a couple of women that I know in my life that are trained martial artists that are more intimidating than this so-called Phoenix in X-Men: The Last Stand. So that was irritating. The movie itself had some cool scenes in it that I found to be entertaining, but as far as anything of substance, it's a piece of shit. Number 11, Dark Phoenix. I was
Oh,
like, man. So when I saw the trailer, I was with, I think, like 7 of my friends, and I remember not cheering a single time when I saw that trailer, which my friends pointed out to me. I didn't really think about it in the moment, but they're like, damn, T, did you notice that you had no reaction to that trailer? And I was like, yeah, I didn't, huh? Because normally I'm like, yeah, doop, doop, or something, but nothing happened. Go to see the movie, and I'm like, so you literally used the same scene that you used in X-Men: The Last Stand when they go to the house. I'm like, this is the same thing with just a different set of characters. That was irritating. And then I was like, okay, so you have generic aliens that come to Earth. You don't even know who they are, where they came from. You don't know nothing about nothing. You just understand that they want the Phoenix Force. I'm like, that is so dry and flat that you just don't need to have them in this movie. Out of all the alien threats out there that are involved with this storyline in the comics, and you just pick alien random Joe Schmo number 2. So that's a fail. And then the
they were
entire
supposed to be
movie,
the Skrulls, though. To be honest, though, right?
yeah, they
They had to change it because of Captain Marvel. That's what I'm hearing. That was supposed to be the Skrulls, and because of Captain Marvel, they had to change it to these guys.
well, even if they would have used the scrolls, the movie still would have been a pile of shit because of the nature of the storytelling. So
I
the
liked it though. I didn't think it was bad.
the movie is trash. Like I'm like, first of all, you took one of the most cosmic storylines from Marvel and you made it an Earth-based storyline. It was so grounded and flat that it was almost insulting if you know anything about the storyline. I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, where's all the cosmic stuff? The only thing that was like 0.1% cosmic was when they went in space to save those astronauts. And that was it. It was all
Yeah,
on boring ass Earth when in the comics they had all these space battles and everything was amazing. Like you're supposed to have like some
the
in game level
Gladiator,
shit.
right? They had
Yeah,
the Gladiator and everything in it. The original series, the comic book. I agree with you, but the third one didn't have any of that cosmic stuff either. I guess that's why you put it last, right?
yeah, that's bad too for different reasons. But with this one, I was like, okay, so this is just all we're gonna get. And the actress that played Jean, I'm like, no, that's a terrible casting choice. Didn't like her at all. I'm like, that's not Jean. I don't care what she did on Game of Thrones. She might be a good actress and all that, but I'm like, she's the wrong choice for that character. I think that her acting fucking sucks in the movie. And then on top of that, I was like, okay. So really, the only good character in the whole movie is Magneto by leaps and bounds. All the other characters are trash, including Charles, including Mystique. I'm like, you had that cringy ass agenda stuff at the beginning of the movie. All the characters are happy, but Mystique has to come out and be mad at the white man, right? Oh, all the women are doing the work around here. I'm like, why is she talking to Charles like that? Mystique doesn't talk like that, and I'm like, where is this coming from? First of all, in that scene that she's talking about, those people would be dead without Quicksilver and Nightcrawler, who are men, in case Mystique was not smart enough to process that. So I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing to these characters? And then, like, near the middle of the movie, you had Storm telling Charles, shut up. Let's go with Mystique's idea. What the fuck is going on? Like, what is happening? Like, it was to the point to where Charles was like, damn, I'm in the wrong fucking movie. What am I even doing here? Nobody respects Charles. It's just a mess. And then you get to the end of the movie, and you got the fight scene that's cool and stuff, but once you get to the part where Phoenix herself is fighting, I'm like, it doesn't matter. This is non-consequential because it didn't amount to anything. I'm like, you just have a generic fight scene that happens to be cool, but there are no stakes involved because it's grounded in a specific area where there's nobody around and they're just going to kill these things and then that's it. I'm like, it's trash. Fuck that movie. I didn't no. Like I said, Magneto's the only thing that I like in there. That movie can no. Number 10, put X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now, that movie is a pile of shit, but I did like Sabretooth in there. It's unfortunate that Sabretooth had to be in such a bad movie. Liev Schreiber's performance, I'm like, man, this is the kind of stuff that irks me when I see someone that good in their role, but it can be overlooked because you are surrounded by trash. That bothered me. The scenes where he was interacting with Logan, I'm like, okay, there's something here, but for some reason, these people don't know how to write a good movie. So then it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. But I give it points for the Sabretooth thing because I could see the greatness there, but they just made way too many mistakes, left and right. In terms of Gambit, didn't mind him. Thought he was all right. Blob, I thought he was all right. There wasn't really anything that wowed me aside from Sabretooth. I didn't even really care for Wolverine that much, and that's his movie, and that's bad. Like the scene where they were giving him the adamantium, thought that was cool. I like that, but aside from that, special effects were just really bad. They got worse. I'm like, his claws when it was revealed in the first movie looked amazing, but now the franchise is established, you have more money and you produce that. I'm like, I can go inside and take a piss and make better CGI with my piss. Just mix it up real quick. You get some better CGI from that. It's not okay.
Yeah, the claws looked like they actually looked like he was holding them in his hand. You know what I mean? Like he was holding them in his hand. It didn't look like they were actually coming out of his hands. It was horrible.
Right. So yeah, I just wanted to explain that particular position because I have these in their spots for particular reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, I got X-Men Apocalypse there. Now,
wow.
Now a lot of humans, they don't like the movie, but a lot of it has to do with them not liking Apocalypse. But I like to look at many elements of the movie. So in terms of X-Men Apocalypse, the movie itself, the reason why I have it in that particular position is because the movie is very ambitious. in what it tried to do. Like it really was reaching for all these great things and it fell short. A lot of that had to do with Apocalypse was not done well. I like the actor, but it was not done well. Like they should have used CGI to make him look more like how Apocalypse is supposed to look. Because him being shorter than everybody else, I was like, well, you when you are supposed to be so powerful in stature, keyword stature, you should be much larger than everyone else. Especially if you're supposed to be this overarching opposing villain. So to me, that was a creative mistake that they should have looked into that, like have somebody advise them. And then the nature of the story just kind of fell apart, like him getting the horsemen and when he took away all the nukes off of Earth, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like I like that, but there was a lot of times where I was like, that's cool, and then it just kind of fell from there. Like I get really excited and then I get taken back down. And it was because they missed a lot of opportunities that I saw for them to reach that greatness. They just never hit it. And I was like, what are you guys doing? So that's why I got it there. Like I acknowledge the attempts and some of the coolness in there, but they dropped the ball in my opinion. So number 8 got the Wolverine. I enjoyed the Wolverine. There was things in it that I really liked, especially coming off of Origins. Damn, I was like, see, this what I'm talking about. I saw the trailer. I was like, yeah, let's go see this. Go to see it. Wolverine down and out, living in the woods, hair all long, and him tending to that bear and fucking up them humans. I was like, okay, cool. We getting the Savage Wolverine. He just don't give a fuck, because when Wolverine, he got different periods in the comic books. When he's getting his dick sucked by Yuriko, he's just smiling for days. And then he has these periods where he just a savage, like somebody then died, somebody got kidnapped, he can't find Charles, any number of things that just send him into this fucking rage and shit. He's just ready to start stabbing people, ripping out spines and shit. I'm like, get him, Logan. So I had that kind of reaction, and I like the way that they did Mariko and Yukio. I was like, they cool as hell, especially Yukio, man. Whew. So I like the way they did them. And then when he went to Japan, that was the selling point for me. Wolverine in Japan with ninjas. I have wanted to see that since I was a kid. I was like, you have to do it. If I hear a bunch of ideas and you ain't telling me Wolverine and ninjas, somebody's fucking up. Just fucking up. Yuriko, Lady Deathstrike, ninjas, you have to do it. I don't hear nothing about no, you do that shit. So with that, the ninja stuff was real cool. Now, one of the ninjas, he was supposed to be Silver Samurai, but for some reason they decided to go with that war general, and they just messed that all up. So that's a really big example of dropping the ball. That for me, most of the movie was awesome, and then the one part where I'm like, if you can nail this shit, if you can, and they didn't. They messed it up. They killed the wrong person. That person's Silver Samurai, and he was really big for no reason. I'm just like, it went downhill so quick. It's kind of like when the humans describe like they got this really good high, or they had this really good liquor and shit, and they feeling like they're on cloud 9, and then like some stupid human comes in and fucks up the party and shit, and then everybody got to go home, and everybody mad and shit, and people are fighting. Maybe the cops got to get involved. It turned into that. So I just, it unraveled so quickly. That's a damn shame. So they fucked that up. But aside from that, like Danny said, that scene when he was fighting the dude in the laboratory, Danny, that was cool. Then when the ninjas had to shoot him like 1,000 times with them arrows, because they shot him like 10 times, they're like, damn. You're like, I'm coming. And then you kind of see his right leg buckle. I was like, oh shit. Like at first, I remember I sat on the edge of my seat because I was like, he about to yank them motherfuckers off the rooftop. About to pull them down. So did they shoot like 20 more times? Oh damn! Like that fucking venom is
I
getting
think
to him.
I think they still thought he had that parasite in him.
Right. And that's when they started shooting more. They was like, oh shit, you know. And so then you saw that they started readjusting their position. I was like, oh man, and I thought that was well done. That you know they showed okay, this is what Wolverine is doing when you're slowing him down, but you're gonna have to make some adjustments because he's still Wolverine. I thought that was a really well executed scene. So yeah, that's my number 8. Number 7, Deadpool 2. Now I love Deadpool 2. For people listening, now I'm not talking about that Once Upon the Deadpool shit where it was PG-13. That had some funny stuff in it, but when humans are like, "Oh, you got to give it a chance. You don't know what it'd be like if it was PG-13." Like, look, motherfucker, we already had Once Upon a Deadpool, and that's what that shit was like. I was watching it, and I didn't even understand who I was anymore. I started reevaluating my whole fucking life because it didn't make sense. I was like, oh my God, Disney is going to do some shit like this. No, Mr. Feige, don't do it for the love of God. So, yeah, but back to Deadpool, though. The one in the theater, ladies and gentlemen. So, man, Josh Brolin, man, he was flexing, man. He was like, yo, I'm Thanos, and now I'm Cable. And I like how they did Cable, and, you know, he tried to, you know, make sure to save his family. I'm like, that's some fucked up shit, though. Like, when you see your family just get snapped up and they get roasted and shit. Oh, man. And then you just find a teddy bear. Oh, my God. Like, that. I ain't got no kids and shit. And, you know, you ain't gonna never see me breaking down like that. But, like, damn. I tell you one thing, boy. Somebody snapped my family up. Whew, that shit is over. Like, fuck the person that did it. The planet is gonna be in jeopardy. You know what I mean?
So you wouldn't say, "Damn humans, you should have been more prepared." You wouldn't see that.
You know what? I feel like because that's so extreme, I probably wouldn't say nothing. I probably would just be all actions at that point because it just be so crazy, Danny. Just to be in that situation, it'd be like every bit of humor and anything else that's a part of my essence will immediately be dropped, and I will now become one of the worst things on the planet. That's what would happen in that situation. So I like that they translated that, you know, for Deadpool 2. I'm like, cool, I can get behind Cable. I liked his appearance and everything, and how the metal, you see it kind of growing on his body. He was like, fuck, running out of time. So yeah, I like that. And then Domino. Whew. Zazie Beats, man. Man, see, I normally be like, man, you ain't gonna be doing that race swapping shit. I swear to God, if you and then when she came on screen, I was like, you know what, Zazie? Like sometimes in life, you know,
it's okay to do a little race swapping, right?
and it was because the essence of the character was still there. Because I was like, I'm like, yeah, she looked good as fuck. I will give her a chance. Let's see how she does with her performance. So I watched it open mind. I was like, all right, Zazie, let's see what you got.
Performance. You're looking at them big booty she had in them outfit.
No, see that's not enough for me. Like, I got some homeboys where they're like, man, man, that performance was a 10, yo, man, that ass was booming. Like, first of all, last time I checked, that is not a qualification for no fucking Oscars, that the fucking ass is booming.
In your book, it ain't. My book, it is.
hey, no, I hear you, Danny, but you know.
Hey, I watched Money Train last night. About 3 a.m. Do you remember the episode with Wesley Snipes and Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, when he was fucking her, that's the one I told you guys about. Like, oh my God. I told you. Remember, Danny? Like, we brought up. I brought up Money Train when we were talking about sex scenes, and then y'all, like, somebody said they don't remember it. I was like, what? You don't remember when?
I don't remember.
I watched it last night. It was on TV. I was like, holy moly!
Yeah, he bends it up.
Shit, that shit was beast, man. You didn't see me when I first saw that as a kid. Shit, my clothes started coming off like I was in a sex scene. Like that shit was crazy.
Oh God. Okay. I'm sorry to mess you up. Go ahead back.
But yeah, but yeah, Zazie Beast, yeah, she did a good job. I was happy with her. I'm like, okay, like you get your points. I like that. Like she was badass, and you got the luck factor that played in. I was
Mm-hmm.
happy, not mad at all. I'm like, see, this is what I want. I want everybody to do well. If you're gonna make some changes, just do a good job. I don't like if you're gonna make changes and you fuck it up. It's like no, no. So
Mm-hmm.
she did a good job. I like that. Um, the movie was funny as hell too. Like
It was.
I man, I was laughing so much. Like I think my side started to hurt. It was like it felt like I had done some crunches and shit, but I didn't. I was just laughing. So I'm like, that's a good thing, you
I
know.
agree with you, man. Because when they did the X Force thing out of
Oh
the
my, Whew.
that was
Azo, man.
funny, bro. Oh my
Oh
god, I was laughing so hard, man. And that's what I'm saying. Like for me, I laughed more in the second one than the first one.
man, that fucking X Force shit just had me rolling, man. I was
Me
like,
too. Me
I
too.
I think I laughed a lot because I wasn't expecting them to be depicted that way. Because
Mm-hmm.
in the comics, man, X Force they be fucking shit up. So
Yeah,
I was
right.
expecting them
Exactly.
to kick some ass and stuff. So for them to get killed off in comedic ways, I was not only surprised, but it was funny. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
And then the visible man hits the electric line, and you see it's fucking Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt and shit. I
Oh
was
my
like,
god, that
oh
was
man.
hilarious, bro.
And then it was like the way that Deadpool looked at the camera. I was like, yeah, man. Nobody in this audience was expecting that shit, whether you know
Yeah,
about the characters or not. Like,
yeah, it was funny.
so all around, thought it was cool. I like how they did Juggernaut. That
Me too.
motherfucker was huge. I was like, that is dead. When when Deadpool saw Juggernaut, he's like, like
Yeah.
that was me in the theater. I was like, oh shit, he's about
Mhm,
to kill everybody in this movie. Oh my
mhm.
god. So
And
that was
when
cool.
and when they were showing, like they had him behind the door and they didn't show who it was, I kept saying, "Who is that? Who is that? I wonder who that is." And then when they showed him, I was like, "Yo, they did Juggernaut well." I was like, "Yes, that's how Juggernaut should be."
I I remember me and my friends, we were like kind of whispering, like, yo, who you think that is and shit. Like, you think that might be Juggernaut? Like, I don't know, maybe. Like, then we tried to think of like all the other mutants that were big as fuck that could fit
Mhm,
in there like that.
mhm.
So yeah, and then when we saw Juggernaut, like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like when you fucking knock on the door and it sounds like an 8.5 earthquake, yeah, there's a serious problem. So
For real.
all right, so that's my number 7. Number 6, Deadpool 1. Now for me, I'm not like a Deadpool fan. Like for me in the comics, like I thought he was, he was alright. I thought he was cool, but like I wasn't really advocating to see him per se. Like now, naturally, I want to see all the characters, but there's a certain amount of enthusiasm depending on the characters. Like aside from just kind of being interested by default because it's connected to the brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I remember Deadpool, and I read some of his comics and stuff, and I was like, yeah, of course we're gonna go see Deadpool, and I was like, this definitely looked better than that fucking Origins bullshit. So yeah, let's go peep it out. And then I watched it, and I remember laughing, and then I had these long periods where I was just smiling because I was like, Ryan Reynolds, man, I am happy for you because if I'm correct, man, I think you struck gold with this. I think that humans are gonna have a good response, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
happened. So I was happy for him. I was like, it seems to me that you got it right this time. Like, unless I'm the only one, and then sure enough, it was blowing up, led to 2 and stuff. So yeah, I was happy with everything in it. The fight scenes, I like the humor. I like when fucking Colossus came over like Deadpool. time to go. And then like, like it just his banter, like him just talking to Colossus, and I was like, he's one of those dudes when he shows up, he just has so much muscle. You like, all right, I'm about to think about everything I'm gonna do. Because not only does he have too much muscle for me to calculate, but he's also fucking metal. So yeah, if I try to punch him or kick him, I probably shatter my bones and stuff like that. So, which is which is exactly what happened to Deadpool, which made me laugh because I was thinking about that shit, and then he fucking shattered his foot like, oh, like I was like, yeah, so sometimes in life, and I do like how they depicted Colossus too, because he is a nice guy. Like this, his whole speeches and shit. There comes a moment and all this, which is basically sometimes in life. Like when he's doing that, I'm like, yeah, yeah, I like that. So the whole make of the movie, I just enjoyed the whole thing overall, and I was very happy for Deadpool fans and Mr. Reynolds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5.
Before you go to number 5, I just want to say they actually did do Deadpool justice in those 2 movies for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Just, I mean, for me, man, like whether like I'm the biggest fan of the character or not, I like when they get them right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely a huge fan of the movies more than I am the comics. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, this is for the comics, it kind of was alright for me, but with the movies, I really had a good time in a way that unfortunately I did not feel equally as same as looking at the comics, but that's not a problem. It's just sometimes it takes a certain kind of story, and in the brilliance of what Ryan Reynolds did, like he ain't the best actor on the planet, but he can be Deadpool. That's
Mm-hmm.
his thing. So that worked for him. So congratulations. Yeah.
For real.
So number 5, X-Men 1. So when I remember when I saw the trailer for that, because we weren't really going on the internet and people wouldn't send links to your phone and stuff like that. It was different back then.
Mm-hmm.
And, you and Danny are of age enough to where you know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for the humans listening, I don't know how old y'all are. You might be different ages, but there was a time where you couldn't be like, oh shit, I didn't miss the trailer, but good thing Johnny sent it to my phone. Like, nah, wasn't like that back then. Like,
Yep. If you missed it, you had to wait for it to come back on again on another commercial or something. Yeah.
Exactly. You would have had to have seen a commercial at the right place, right time,
Mm-hmm.
or you were watching a movie in the theater, you happened to see a preview, or you were at the theater itself and you saw the big ass poster. Because other than that, you don't really have the shit we have now. So we saw the commercial. My mom took Tremaine and myself to see it. And, she understood that I was like, yo, gotta go see X-Men. Because they didn't really take us to see a whole lot of movies. We saw a few. Like most of the movies I watched, I either watched on my own or someone showed it to me, whether it be my uncle and he had his movie collection or whatever. So that was one of the few where they took me. And I'll never forget that because right there in the theater, and, Eric, parents get taken away in the concentration camps, and when he started screaming and shit, and he just like started like pulling the gate and shit. Like, man, I'm telling you, like I was pulling the gate with him because I thought that was, for the humans listening, I was a little different back then. I had what humans would call a bigger heart or some shit. Like, but I felt real bad for him.
A little different.
You had a heart, Terrence.
Yeah, man. Like, I was damn near crying and shit. I was like, "How you just gonna take his parents and shit? What the fuck?" Like, at that
Now,
point,
Terrence got the 10-man. If I only had a heart.
Yeah, exactly. And then you would hear that song, and I just start ripping out people's spines and shit. Like, yeah, if only had a heart, motherfucker. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, yeah. So with that, with that scene, I was like, man, why are these people doing that? Because we're still saying people. But yeah, I was like, yeah, man, why are these people taking the parents away? That's messed up. Like, I'm pretty sure they don't have no powers. So felt bad for them. And then you cut to Senator Kelly. What's to stop mutants from walking into their homes or into a bank for that matter? I'm like, if this movie don't give me nothing else aside from what it's already given me, if he can just have a painful death, I will walk away happy. Sure enough, that motherfucker died a painful death. So yes, I got what I wanted. But I like the setup for all the characters. You know, Rogue, she had to leave and shit. And man, that's some fucked up shit. Imagine like not being able to touch anybody and shit. Like, because you know, not everybody like Terrence. You ain't trying to go around snapping people's necks and shit like that. You know, you trying to make a connection. You know, you want to go out on a date, go to Chuck E. Cheese, do all kinds of shit. Now, in her case, just a teenage girl, you know, trying to you know, kiss the boy and stuff, and you know, all of a sudden he just starts seizing out and shit. That's a traumatizing experience. You got to go on the road. Got to have the snow and all kinds of shit. Got to pack the bags, a couple peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You got to make your way out into the world because you're different. And you got to find others that are different. Otherwise, you're going to be different alone. And we know how that turns out. So, yeah, I like that. Now, Wolverine's introduction, man, I remember I was just clapping and shit. Just a little ass kid, like, yeah. You know, he's just in the cage fighting and shit. I was like, that's my boy right there. He got the claws and shit, Tremaine. Yep. And Tremaine's like, oh, is that? I'm like, okay, Tremaine, shut the hell up. You're trying to kill this moment. Like, he didn't know shit and stuff, but I was like, fine. So, you know, the dude is just hitting them and shit, and it's not work. Like, there's something about when a person is getting hit and they're moving, but it doesn't look like they're hurt at all. They're just sort of going through the motions and the momentum of like getting punched and kneed and kicked. And then when you hear that dude, when the fists collide, you hear the fucking metal. I just love that whole setup. The bar, get out of my bar, freak, and he fucking cuts the shotgun in half, and just the whole thing. And then Toad was pretty funny too, played by Ray Park. Man, I feel like every time I see Ray Park, he's being these small roles and shit, but yeah, guess not everybody could have the best roles. But Toad was cool. And then Holly Berry as Storm. I remember in the theater, something did happen in my pants and stuff when I saw her, like, you know what I'm saying, with the lightning and shit like that. I was like, yeah, that's at that point and stuff, I had only seen so many women. I'm like, damn, she might be the best looking female I've ever seen in my life. You know, and to this day, she's still one of the best. But I'm like, man, that is definitely Storm. I remember her from the comics. I was like, oh shit, got the perfect actress. And then you had Patrick Stewart as Charles. I was like, yep. Oh, man. And then Sir Ian McKellen for Magneto, right? Man, I was like, this
Really?
fucking dude. I loved him as Magneto.
I didn't. I like an old ass. I don't like no old ass Magneto. The guy that played a young Magneto is perfect.
See, we don't get into that in so many moments, but yeah, like Sir Ian McKellen to me, because Magneto does, you know, age in the comics and stuff, and like with that comes a lot of wisdom and experience, which for that particular plot it worked, because you need someone of age and experience for that plot to work. So to me, it's all about context.
You shouldn't have been that old. Shouldn't have been 70. You should have been more like 50.
I could see that too, but because, you know, Charles was up there in age too, it just made sense.
Charles didn't look old as he did.
No, but they're practically around the same age, as we saw through their various conversations and when they met and stuff.
You should have said Dumbledore.
But I mean, I did like him as Charles. I thought he was perfect. Like just his mannerisms, the way he conducted himself. I was like, yeah, that's definitely Magneto. I was like, I didn't even care that he was older, because again, it was all about the context. Whatever story you're telling, as long as it matches, I have no problem with it. Now, if everybody is young, and they like in their 20s, and then he's that old, then that'd be different
You know what threw
conversation.
me off with Magneto is that in the younger version, his suit looked more intimidating. When he got older, it looked more like German stuff, and he should hate the Germans for what they did to the family, but it looked more like a German uniform.
You know what? In the context of that first X-Men movie, because that's a good point. I think maybe because sometimes Magneto likes a reminder of what he's fighting for. So maybe that has to do with the nature of how his clothes were designed. I'm only assuming as much. Maybe it means nothing, but the way that Magneto conducts himself and then his helmet and everything, it's always for a specific reason. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But that is a good point though. So yeah, I mean, for a first movie, I was like, yep, it did what it was supposed to do. It was X-Men, and I didn't have a problem with them wearing all black and stuff because, back then people didn't like comic book stuff. If you weren't DC, nobody cared about your shit. You ain't doing nothing. Like, especially if you're not Batman or Superman, like you have to do something to make sure that the average person doesn't turn away before you can even get to all the amazing stuff. So to find that sort of balance, I very much appreciate and respect that they were able to pull that off because it could have been messed up in so many ways. And it was part of the wave of people starting to embrace comic book material slowly. So X-Men 1, aside from how good I thought it was, the characters and the plot, and then, Magneto trying to turn everybody into mutants, I was like, yeah, he's either trying to kill them all or he's trying to convert them. He's done both before. So I thought that was a nice little starting point that he would, in the first movie, he would want to do something that extreme. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I like that. Really appreciate it. Before I move on, I should say I thought it was odd that Sabretooth and Logan, they didn't like know each other. But at the same time, when Sabretooth grabbed them dog tags and shit, it seemed like he knew something. Like, wait a minute. I feel like I didn't seen him like 200 years ago. Well, I don't know. Maybe I got to think about it some more. But that Statue of Liberty fight scene to me, that's one of the coolest scenes I've seen. Like, I really like the visuals and way that shit is done. I'm like, of course, Sabretooth and Wolverine would fight on some shit like that because they just seem to fight everywhere anyway. They'd be on the tallest mountains and all this other shit. They'd be fighting in trees and all kinds of shit. So cool. Number 4, Logan. So, man, since I didn't since I didn't seen all those X-Men movies many times, I was always thinking like, man, is there gonna be an ending or what are they gonna do? It's just it ain't a whole lot of them left. What kind of stories are you gonna tell? So when they got into Logan, him being older and it just his healing factor wasn't up to par, and I was like, oh shit. So I'm gonna be worried about him. So that alone just kind of piqued my interest because it's nothing like me being worried about characters that I care about. That was one of the reasons why I didn't like those recent Ninja Turtles movies because they were all fucking bulletproof and can jump through semi trucks and shit. I'm like, how are they turning into Superman and shit? If they ain't gonna die or be vulnerable, why the fuck do I care about them? I'm like, not even Superman is like that. Superman be getting wrecked and these turtles are fine and shit. Anyway, so Wolverine being vulnerable, I'm like, oh shit. And then, you see Laura X-23. I was like, yes, we getting X-23. What the fuck? And that little girl, I'm blanking on that young actress's name, but
Yeah, me
that
too.
little girl is so fucking talented. I remember I saw her test screening and stuff when she went to audition for the role, and fucking Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart were there. I was like, man, that's got to be fucking intense. Like they just in the background of shit. Like, yeah, you better not fuck this up, little girl. Your ass you ain't gonna be in the movie with the greats. Okay, action. I'm like, well, shit, y'all. Like, I just got here. Like, at least look away or some shit. Damn. But yeah, like, so, she's doing her thing, and it just, she won him over. And you see her in the movie, I'm like, man, she is really good with physical action. She is so fucking good. I mean, she to me, she has more talent in the physical department than somebody like Charlize Theron, who was recently talking shit about Seagal, but that's a whole other topic. Ooh, I hope I meet her one day. But anyway, but yeah, like, little girl was talented. I like the nature of the story because Charles was sick and shit. And then you find out that he was the reason all the X-Men got killed off and shit. Because in the comics it was Logan, but they kind of twisted it around. And I was like, oh shit,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Charles fucked him up. Damn.
Uh,
Like, so naturally Logan had friends there too. They like a family. So I'm like, man, he's dealing with that. He's sick. Charles's head is all messed up, and you had to keep him in a special container because this motherfucker having seizures and shit, and you destroy entire cities and countries and shit. People dropping dead. They think COVID-19 is bad. Imagine Charles Xavier with seizures and shit. But yeah, so I was like, man, it was a lot to digest. And then you had this fucking asshole in the background with a little metal arm, and the scientist connected to him, and they trying to get Laura and all this other shit. I was like, man, they got a lot to deal with. It's just one problem after another. Got to worry about Logan, got to worry about Charles. Then you got the other dude that couldn't be in the sun. It's like, okay, what if he get kidnapped? There's too many variables, you know? And then it's like, okay, are the other mutants out there? Do you see the little kids? And I was like, and then more than just the badass, the claws through the skulls and stuff like that, you have these really tender moments, right? A lot of humans, they don't care about that shit, but I do. That shit matters to me because I like substance. It's not just enough to get me with the really cool action scene and then I'm walking away. Nah, you got to do more than that shit. So remember the scene where they were at the dinner table with the black family?
uh-huh.
You remember that, Danny? Wait, did Danny
Yeah,
freeze?
I
Oh,
remember
okay.
it.
Okay, so when they were there at the dinner table, and they were trying to maintain their cover and shit, and like, oh yeah, I was a school teacher and this sort of a thing. So they're sort of telling the truth, but they're leaving out the more extreme stuff, right? So when he said, "I wish I could say you were a good pupil, but the words would choke me," and then you see Logan, he started laughing because he knew he was a handful and shit. Like, it was stuff like that I really appreciate about the movie, that you can have a moment like that with all the badassery mixed in. It gives the movie a heart instead of just another badass movie. Like, you really have deep character development. You understand where these characters are at because they have a long history. And that's throughout the whole movie. Logan not caring about his daughter, to, okay, I guess I got to do right by her and all that kind of stuff. And then you see that then she starts to care about him more over the course of the movie. And that scene where they were arguing in the car when she punched him in the face, like, it's just shit like that. Like, it has a lot of moments in it that are awesome, that are not fight scenes. But then you got the shit where fucking Logan and Laura doing the tag team moves. I was like, oh shit. You know, when it comes to tag team moves, like, you got Laura flying through the air and then Logan just cutting off your kneecaps and shit. I'm like, man, I surrender. Like, I don't normally surrender like that, but I see Laura come out, ching, and then fucking Logan. I'm like, you know what? I am not a villain. I have turned my life around. Let me tell you, boy, being evil is not cool. I don't even know why I'm holding this gun. Just put it down real quick. But yeah, so just a great movie, masterpiece. It is one of the few comic book movies where I'm like, yeah, this shit is a masterpiece. This is not about no fandom or nothing. This is just a straight up masterpiece of a movie. It was one of the best movies that came out that year, and it should have been in the best film category, but we were still dealing with comic book movies not being as respected as other movies. Like you really got to do something to get there, a substance. And I was like, Marvel don't really have that, but they had it with Logan. I was like, that was that one thing where I thought it would have made it, and it did with screenplay, but nothing else. So, oh well, oh well. Number 3, X-Men 2. Yep. Whew. Shoot, I like shit. Y'all can't see me, but my skin is blue right now thinking of that opening of that movie. When Nightcrawler was in the White House and it had that music playing and shit, and then like, sir, you're not supposed to be here. And you just start fucking wrecking they shit and kicking them, and then you see the blue mist and like the doors would open up, and you see the blue mist and they couldn't see what was on the other side, and you just fucking grab this dude, punch him, kick him, and then you had like the president and his little secret servicemen all shaking like bitches in the corner, and fucking Nightcrawler came in there. I was like, this is one of the best openings to any comic book movie I've ever seen. And then I was also thinking, like, wait a minute. Nightcrawler is a good guy, though. Like, and he's probably the most religious character I've ever seen in my life, probably. But, like, I'm like, there has to be a reason for this. Did some kids get killed? Like, I was trying to, when I was processing the level of beastness, also, as a kid, I remember thinking about that, like, man, what happened? Somebody controlling him? Did he get mad? So, aside from that amazing opening, I just kind of was thinking on that, like, damn, what happened with Nightcrawler? So, and then you get to like Major William Stryker, my boy, my boy William Stryker, man, that dude was a beast. He was just like, yeah, Mr. President, I told you these mutants were fucking scum and shit. You need to let me move forward with phase 9. Fuck phase 8 and 7. Phase 9. That's what we need to do. I got all the necessary pieces in order. And this Professor Charles Xavier, yeah, we got something for his ass. Yeah, we gonna fuck his ass up tonight. So what you say, Mr. President? And they moved through with them plan, caught them fucking mutants off guard and shit. They was then damn near sleeping and making popcorn and watching TV and shit. Fucking strikers, man, came up in the X mansion. They was just fucking shooting them and sedating them and snatching them. I was like, look, he don't have to do nothing else as a villain. When you roll up in somebody's house like that and you just start snatching people, that's like the biggest statement you can make aside from just straight up killing people. Because the X mansion, like somebody's home, is a place of comfort. You can feel safe. Got your brothers and sisters around. Yeah, I can do the ice. I can do the fire. I can teleport. I can make my dick 17 inches long. Like, you got a lot of talent in that house. But when somebody roll up in there and they are so good with their level of planning, I was like, oh my God. So now we can get Magneto up in here, because even though him and Charles, they got their differences, Magneto does not like to see disgusting humans doing shit to his brothers and sisters. He don't like that shit. So, you know, seeing him get out of his cell and everything. And I got to mention that I love Mystique. Like, aside from how she looked, because that shit was on point. The blue and the ass and the tits, like, that shit was on point. But her level of intelligence and fighting, like, that's just the perfect woman for me and shit. I'm just like, yo, you got all my boxes checked. And she got the loyalty and she ain't scared of shit. Like, she would definitely be on my side and shit. Like how Magneto had her. I'm like, yo, you be more on point than some of the men, man. You got men being bitches and shit. I'm like, Mystique, man, like, she was on point. So I like that. She went to get Eric. She didn't care where that nigga was or none of that stuff, right? So she went to get him, or at least gave him the tools to get out of his cell. I like that. So you have all that, and I'm gonna be honest. The scene when he was, you guys remember the scene where Pyro and them, when they were at Bobby's house, Iceman?
Yep.
You remember that scene, Danny? When Bobby went to see his family?
Yeah.
So I don't know about y'all, but was I the only one that wanted Bobby's parents and his brother to die, like when they betrayed him?
They were assholes for real, though.
Yeah, they were assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I no. Like there is something inherently anger inducing when your own blood does that to you. I'm like, yo, the whole world can throw knives at me, but then when I see the family members doing it, oh no. So you got that. That scene was cool. Pyro was blowing up the cars and stuff. You know, you fast forward to him talking to Magneto. I like that interaction because it was in that moment that he won Pyro over. I'm like, that is how you recruit people. You got to say the right words, right? You know, mutant, human, or otherwise. Most individuals don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to articulate their thoughts. They get lost in translation. When you have someone that can do that, that is the nature of a leader, a person that can convince someone of a position and why they should be following you. In fact, humans' greatest leaders, leaders with power and everything else, they have excellent communication and manipulation skills. Otherwise, they wouldn't have obtained those positions.
Mm-hmm.
So, all that, and then Stryker trying to kill every mutant on the planet, that is beyond intense. Magneto reversing that to try to kill every human on the planet. Oh, the movie storyline wise, just amazing, y'all. I can't. Anytime X-Men 2 is on, I could watch it. Don't matter if it's a scene, the whole movie, have it on in the background while I'm doing laundry or whatever I'm doing. The world could be blowing up. X-Men 2 is on. Shoot. Get my popcorn and lemonade with 4 ice cubes in it, and I'll be good, man. Be good. Yeah, my number 2, X-Men First Class. This movie impressed me because I'm like, okay, now we are dealing with something a little bit different. Now you're going to have to show me a young Charles and a young Magneto. And I also need to like Charles Xavier and Magneto. If you fail in either one of those, the whole movie is ruined. Nothing else matters. So, luckily, James McAvoy, perfect, is Charles Xavier. In fact, I think he is severely underrated in terms of not being mentioned with some of the best actors on the planet until he does specific things. I think that's a little bit unfortunate. Perfect there. Michael Fassbender as Magneto. Also, someone I think is talented. Not necessarily on the same level as James, maybe just a peg underneath, but I feel like he could get better if they give him better material to work with. Because usually he likes to, I don't know, he's been in some trash movies, but when he's able to shine, he really shines bright. And I feel like he shined bright as Magneto in X-Men First Class. They were so good. And then you do Kevin Bacon as Sebastian Shaw. So you got those 3 actors just flexing with the body oil, like, yeah, what's up? You don't need nothing else. You got us 3 in the movie. But then they got a good story there. You understand why the mutants need to figure out who they are and where do they belong? Do they belong with Sebastian? Do they belong with Charles? Should they side with the humans? Does it depend on a certain moment in time? Like, what should they do? But no matter whose side they pick, they definitely need some training because if you don't know how to do something, you can have the most amazing powers in the world, but they'll technically be useless because you don't know how to control them. So they don't really mean much. You ain't know how to control them. So showing their training, I thought was awesome. I liked how it showed Charles helping Magneto. And Magneto took notes from when he was a kid past adult, learning from Charles. He learned from Sebastian. And the thing that he learned is that you should not be as weak as everybody else around you. They lack discipline, they lack willpower, they're very hesitant. For Magneto to be one of the greatest leaders in mutant history, he would have to not make the mistakes of a Charles or a Sebastian or any of those humans that were in the way. and he learned. And I love how you see that throughout the film. This dude is getting better at an alarming rate because you know that he's going to be a villain. So you're like, oh man, like you know where he's going to end up. And the way that they set up those pieces, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. As far as the rest of those characters, Havoc, Cyclops' brother, and then uh, Angel or Pixie or whatever the hell her name is, played by Zoe Kravitz or whatever. That actress, she cannot act. She is a terrible actress. Like everything I've seen her in, it's like I have to be reminded that she's there because she never stands out. That's why I'm worried about her playing Catwoman, because with such a interesting, sometimes compelling character, I don't think she can pull that shit off. I'll believe it when I see it. I wish her the best of luck. I don't like that casting choice. She looks good, but as far as I can tell, that's all she has until she can prove otherwise, in my opinion. So, and then also I like how he put the coin through. Remember y'all when he put the coin through Sebastian Shaw's head?
Mm-hmm.
Then he took the helmet and made it his own. When he put on that helmet, I'm telling you that theater was full of semen that day. Whew. It just full of semen. I was like, yo, man, my boy put on the helmet. I was ready. And then when he had pointed the missiles at all those humans and shit, like the Americans, the Russians, I was like, good. Because nobody could sit there in that audience and go, no, we're doing it for no reason. I was like, they were trying to murder him and everybody on that beach. Murder. We're not talking about lock up, get answers. It was death. So as far as I was concerned, that was self-defense. But lo and behold, Mr. Goody Two-Shoes, Charles Xavier, no, Eric, we can't hurt the humans. Eric was like, okay, Charles, you pushing it. You my boy, but I'm going to have to put you in a wheelchair, Charles. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to put you in a wheelchair. So sure enough, he accidentally put him in the wheelchair when the bullet hit the back when he was deflecting it. Number 12, X-Men: The Last Stand. Wait, why am I hearing playback? Like, y'all,
Yo.
Yeah, I'm hearing. Oh, okay, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that threw me off for a second. I was like, no.
Me too. I was like, shit, he went back to 12? Oh no.
And I was like, I'm like, wait a minute, no, I didn't go back to 12. Yeah, so yeah, you know, in the comics, it's like he lost his legs in a few different ways. I remember some alien dropped a block on his legs. One time it was Bishop. Then another time, like he was fighting the Shadow King in like the astral plane, and then that had some messed up effects on his legs, and yeah, that. But I did find it interesting how they did it in the movie. I like that, and you can have it make sense and all that stuff. And when you get to the ending, when he had his comic accurate costume with the color pattern and the helmet, man, just when the janitors cleaned up all the semen, I flooded it again, flooded that shit right back up because that moment was just too glorious. And he went to get it.
You need some help, bro.
That's what gets your semen going, bro. Not good.
Hey. I'm just saying. It was a very orgasmic moment. Like I like when it's comics accurate. So then when he goes to get what's her name? Emma Frost or something like that. I'm blanking on her name. But yeah, he goes to get her, and he's like, yeah, I got a empty place in my heart. I was hoping you could fill it. Then he looks over to the door. The rest of the crew that used to belong to Sebastian, he like, yeah, they with me now. So join, or so you're not gonna join. And he was like, you can call me Magneto. You can ask my friends. When he said that, I damn near jumped out the seat through the roof, back down, did a backflip. Like I was so happy. It was a great movie.
And sprayed the whole cinema again, right?
You know what? That didn't happen again until we got to the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Because then yeah, but I'm telling you, man. Like sometimes in life, man, the semen just be shooting everywhere, and it'd be crazy. Now that brings me to my number one.
A
Yeah.
whole hour later.
Yep, my number one, boy. Not number two, but number one. All right, here it is. X-Men Days of Future Past. Man, oh man. You know, X-Men Days of Future Past is one of the best Marvel Comics storylines for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how it was pretty much the same thing. They made a couple little tweaks, like instead of Kitty Pryde doing it, it was Wolverine. When
Mm-hmm.
they explained it as to why in the movie, I like that logic. I'm like, yeah, because he can heal and stuff. I'm like, okay, see, that's acceptable. I like that. When you can make it make sense and stuff and you make it work with the logic of the plot, I can respect that. I'm like, cool, I get that. So you kept the essence of the storyline, and also them damn Sentinels, they were, you know, when I read them in the comics and saw them in the X-Men cartoon, the one from the 90s, and ain't nobody caring about no Sentinels. I'm like, man, I get that they a threat and stuff, but in the movie though, they were terrifying. It was like the way they looked, they was all sleek and silver, and then the eyes was glowing. It just looked like something that was created just to murder you. Like
Mm-hmm.
full blown, not your friend, see you in the afterlife murder. So when them mutants, I always pay attention to reactions, right? So the mutants, them being scared, just backing it to the corner. Oh no, what are we gonna do? I don't know, Johnny. Oh God, oh no! They start getting wrecked. Like I pay attention to that kind of stuff because it adds to the nature of the movie, makes it more convincing that these things are a problem because these badasses are scared. It's nothing like seeing badasses afraid of some stuff. In fact, Danny Anzo, if you see me shaking at the bottom of my feet as a pile of piss, there's a problem. Y'all need to run. You got to run. Save yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Danny?
Oh, you don't have to worry about that.
Well, thank you. You weren't actually supposed to save yourself. I just something you say, but
You the one that say you hate humans and stuff, all this kind of stuff. I
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa.
yeah. I love humans, especially
Uh,
me.
okay, first of all, Danny, I don't hate anyone. That is way too much. That is too much. That is for the same reason I don't be doing the love. I don't
So
do
you
the
don't
hate either.
dislike. So you don't dislike humans. That's what you're telling me.
Well, I see. There's a difference between disliking and hate. See, hate is
Let me see
really
what this.
strong.
Let me look up the word for this. No, it's a synonym for hate. Let me see.
But it's just hate is extreme. Cause look, like when somebody says, "Man, I dislike my son, but I love him," type stuff. Anzo, you heard that before, right?
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Like now, in my case, it's not I dislike them, but I love them. It's like I don't care for them. I don't really like them, but I ain't hating on them.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm looking up similar and opposite words. Hate for a verb is loathe, detest, abhor, abominate, despise. A noun is loathing, hatred, uh, abhorrence, distaste, dislike.
Yeah, yes, I understand, but that's why I gave the example that I gave. Like when someone says that they dislike someone, but they still love them, it's like you don't really care for them in general.
But you
But
said you don't love nobody. You say you care about them. That was came up.
exactly. But now,
Okay.
see to me though, caring is much more precious because it
So you
doesn't
don't.
have it doesn't have a
Okay.
limit on that. There's
Love
no
don't either.
limit. No. Yes, it does. Like certain man, there are so many humans like you got to work to earn my love, or if he did that to me, I couldn't love him. So on and so on times a million. That's how humans are. Humans will say stuff like,
Yeah.
"I
But if
love
shit hit,
everybody,"
if shit
and
hit
and
the
stuff.
fan, if shit hit the fan, you really need help, and a person that come out and help you, they got some kind of love for
Let me tell you something, Danny. You're my brother, and so is Anzo. You
you.
you guys have a special Terrence contract that's a limited edition that most humans, even with Thunderbolt, the Jinn couldn't grant them that shit. they'd have to get it only from me. Cosmic powers can't help you obtain the Terrence contract. So what that means is that at any given moment, I'd be happy to sacrifice myself to save you.
Okay, I hear you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
For the humans listening, this not bad. Like there ain't nothing wrong. Like it's just like I don't want them to go, oh damn, this shit got too deep. No, no, no. This is regular. Trust, this is regular conversation. Don't read too much. But but yeah, but yeah. So um, yeah. So X-Men First Class. So I definitely you know enjoyed that a lot. A lot of orgasmic moments. And really what that means when you translate it is that I was very pleased with it. Like that's like with me, there are different levels of compliments and shit. So if I tell somebody like, man, your film was orgasmic, they don't know me. I'd have to explain that to them, especially in 2020 where they try to cancel everybody. How could you say that? That type of shit. I'd have to explain it to them. But other than that, it's a compliment. Like Fox has done a lot of great stuff with the X-Men. They had some stumbles, but so has the MCU and everybody else. So don't want to hear anything about that. But they've done a lot of great things. They have more hits than misses. They are also responsible for pushing the comic book movement before the MCU even existed. 6 years before it existed, to be exact. Well,
Mm-hmm.
even 7 years, one could look at it, depending on the number of time frame when you wish to say that something picked up steam. But yeah, technically 8. But anyway, my point is that I think at the end of the day that we have to appreciate them as fans of Marvel for the contribution that they've made to the comic book movie lore, any sort of live action comic book properties, and it deserves a full blown discussion with details as we have just had right now.
Gotcha. Well, your list is pretty good. Um, I just don't understand how. Where did you put? What was I thinking? There was a movie you put up top, and I was like, Apocalypse. I think you put that at number 6 or something like that, or 8.
That was my number 9.
Number
Now,
9.
I mean,
Okay.
any questions that you have, I'll be happy to answer them.
Hell no, we ain't got no questions.
Now, I want you to bear in mind that this is the short version. If I were to go into the long version, oh boy,
Terrence, let me tell you this, bro.
That
I
was
will,
the.
I will never, ever, ever do a ranking with you again. This is the first and last time I will ever do this again.
Danny, we do rankings all the time, though.
No, not on there like this. We ain't. You took 1 hour and 2 minutes to do your list. You realize that?
Oh, well, yeah. I thought you wanted me to go into details.
No, I don't want no soliloquy. I want you to watch this playback when we get done and see how fast me and Alonzo went. That's what I want you to do.
Oh well. That's easy. Like I could make it shorter if you want. No, Dan, you know that's not a problem. If you want me to make it shorter, I can do that. That's not a problem. But it's just, humans tend to appreciate when you go into depth and stuff because they may have some questions, but I feel like they shouldn't have any at this point.
Oh no, you answered all the questions, bro. you did your list and answered all the questions. So yeah.
But yeah, so you thinking like I should keep it at like 35 minutes or how you feeling?
Danny's the host. He gives the time limit.
wait a minute. We are in this together. So Danny. Danny, you know me. I just go along with the flow. I don't mind. I don't even mind what we talk about, but
I think
Like
Danny
what?
had a heart attack, bro.
Well, if he had a heart attack, I would just give him a drop of my blood, and he will be good as new. Yeah. So Danny, like, so how long do you feel like I am game to go with?
2 to 3 minutes per question per
Oh, okay.
ranking.
That is absolutely fine.
Okay.
Danny, you
From
know I'm a,
from now on, from now until this situation ends, that's what I want.
so
It ain't gonna change when we ask for a countdown and you take an hour and 3 minutes. You're gonna go to the Phantom Zone next time. I'm telling you right now.
but Danny,
Phantom Zone.
I thought you were enjoying my ranking.
You thought that. You know I done told you all screen, man. We can't be tying up forever. I done told you that 2 or 3 times.
That is very true. But luckily for us, we still have
Just think if
19 minutes.
John was here, I would have been listening to your ass in this Phantom Zone.
Well, see, if John were here,
We
then
wouldn't have got
naturally
our
I would
list
have made it.
out.
I would have made it only 30 minutes if he were here.
No, we would not have got our list out. Me and Danny would have been sitting there for 3 hours listening to you and John.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, but to be fair, that is
Ain't no
why you guys went first though. See, I was last.
But we went first because you said you had to do something.
No, but
That's why we
then
went first. If you went first, we would have got our time in.
but technically, I did say I was listening. So if you would have told me to go first, I could have. I was just only doing a few chores, but yeah.
Okay.
Danny, you know I'm an easygoing guy. Like that.
I ain't tell you what. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know the Phantom Zone, boy.
But I thought you and Anzo were entertained by the ranking.
And believe me, Danny is quick with that Phantom Zone shit, bro.
Right.
I said yesterday that I did not like Michael Jordan, and before I could get my next sentence out, I was gone.
You was in there. I was like, what
Okay,
the hell? Who the hell don't like Michael Jordan?
Okay, so yeah, that is a little bit odd. Now that
hey, now not you too. Now,
no. I mean, I'm just saying it's a little odd. I'm not saying I banish you, but I mean,
this question for you, Terrence. D. Scott says, has he seen both cuts of Days of Future Past, and which cut does he prefer?
Yeah, you talking about because the only other one that I know of is the Rogue edition. Yeah, I mean, I like them both. I mean, the Rogue one just only has like 5 minutes or so of her. So I mean, I like Rogue, so it was nice, but I don't really think it's inherently better or worse than the other one. So I mean, either or is fine.
I never seen the Rogue cut. Did she do anything?
Let me think. I remember she was tied up somewhere. I think the Sentinels got her or some shit, and then she like broke free. It was really short. Like it wasn't really much of anything, so it didn't really.
Can she absorb like machine powers like that, or just organic base form?
It's normally organic, but like if it's not organic, she could pull like certain amounts of energy, but that's about it. Like in the case of those Sentinels, it wouldn't do anything to where she'd be able to overpower them. Like it would still adapt and kill her. So I think that's why she was tied up. If I remember correctly, they were probably going to do something to her. And then I forget exactly how she got out of that predicament, but it was really short. And without that scene, which is in the theatrical version, it made no difference at all. It was just a scene that they put. No difference.
Offsetter says he liked his reasons for why he put certain movies in specific spots. He also said in Days of Future Past, I like how they wrapped up the original series while continuing the new X-Men series.
Yeah, I agree.
He also said, I agree with McAvoy and Fassbender are awesome as Xavier Magneto. I do. I think they were the best. I don't care for I like Patrick Stewart because he looks like Professor X the way we see on the TV. I do not like the old Magneto because even the old Magneto on the cartoons looked muscular in his suit. He had the white hair. I just didn't care for the older version of him. I like Fassbender version of Magneto.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I didn't like the older version of Magneto too much either.
And it wasn't comic book accurate because his hair wasn't white. His hair
See,
should have been white the whole time.
I had this conversation. Well, this human wasn't my friend, but he. Now that I think about it, I should grab him by his neck. But anyway, yeah, he he didn't watch the movie because he said the dude's hair wasn't white. But I was like, look, man, based off of the way that he processes that kind of stuff, I shouldn't watch any of the MCU movies. None of them, not a single one. And then I probably wouldn't watch 99% of the X-Men movies and 99% of everything else because his whole thing, the hair wasn't right, the shoes weren't the right color. He probably don't watch anything. So to me, I'm like, that didn't bother me because I liked it. And again, it's all about
Oh
the
yeah,
context.
yeah. It didn't bother me. I'm just saying it wasn't this comic book accurate. If you
Right.
some of these people
Right.
say they're purists, so to speak, if you're a purist, then it's gonna bother you
Right.
because
No, that's fair. I wasn't
yeah,
trying to say nothing against you. It's just I do know
no,
somebody
yeah,
where that. Yeah.
yeah. Um, 'Cause I'm kind of, I don't know what kind of bothered me, man. It's a little nitpicky, but I like Sonic the Hedgehog, but I didn't like the mismatched shoes. When he finally got the right color shoes at the end of the movie, when he went to the woman's house, and
Yeah.
the little girl gave him the shoes.
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But I didn't like when he had the mismatched shoes and all that kind of crazy stuff. That's how Robotnik was able to find out what he was because he got his footprint. Because the other
Right.
shoe was all torn up and stuff.
Right.
Just that's my little nitpick on that. Um, let's see. I also just said earlier that I agree Blade 1 and 2 are really good. Blade Trinity, on the other hand, is bad. I agree.
Yep.
I don't know who made Blade 3, but I was like really disappointed. It had potential to be good with Dracula, but
They did not do
yeah,
that right.
yeah,
When Nomak, the villain from number two, he was way
yeah,
better than Dracula. If Dracula is supposed to be the main man, he should have been just as good, if not better, than
yeah.
Gerald Nomak. Just saying.
It looked
Mm.
like he was in some parts scared of Blade. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
Mhm.
The only thing was cool to me is at the end how he transformed to look like Blade. I thought that was pretty cool. And then he turned to dust when they get him on the table.
Oh
I
yeah.
I was okay with that, but it just kind of Dracula is supposed to not like Blade, so that scene in that context was kind of irritating, honestly. And I mean, to me, the only consistent cool thing in that movie was Whistler's daughter, Abigail Whistler. I'm like, yeah, she was fire. But
Oh yeah, that shit. Oh yeah, Jessica Biel. Oh yeah, my lord,
Mhm.
yes.
Mhm.
but other than that, though, I mean, like Wesley Snipes, he's still cool, but it's just like I don't really count him because he's always cool as Blade, but it's just everything else around him was trash. So yeah,
Mhm. I agree.
I like all Jessica Biel movies. What's that one where she was the fighter pilot and Jamie Foxx? It was something about three or something.
Oh,
And there was three fighter pilots and then that
yeah,
robot AI.
and Jamie Foxx died in it.
Yeah,
um, I I
Stealth.
I, I can't
that
say
was it. Stealth.
Stealth. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't I can't say that I'm necessarily a fan. Like I do like how she looks. Like there's certain things that I
oh,
found her to be
she looks
cool in.
awesome. She looks awesome in the bikini, bro. Oh my god,
Oh, absolutely.
you ever
But
see
but
her in that bikini in
I
that waterfall?
in the
yeah,
waterfall. What about in Larry and Chuck Get Married?
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Like that
Yeah.
shit. Like she was on point in that shit. But like,
yeah.
I
I like
mean,
to see her play the black cat.
Me
like,
too.
cause her in the context of Blade Trinity, I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then like other stuff, it wasn't so much that I like her movies as much as I thought she looked good, but she hasn't really done too many things that I'm like. She was in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot, which I thought was one of the better horror movie reboots. But
Yeah,
that movie was not good because of her. She just happened to be in it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's 38 years old, so man, she could easily play to 50.
Mhm.
She's young
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. She could definitely do it.
Yep.
Yep, Danny, are you surprised we are able to get through the questions
What questions?
from the chat? Normally we can't really get through them.
Yeah, because you and the other one be one say red, the other one says black. One says blue, the other one says green.
Hey,
Oh,
but this time is different though because it's just me.
okay. He's on here.
Yeah, he was there.
Wolverine Japan with ninjas. That sounds like a cool brand name. John, you on? You want to come on for a minute, bro?
You can't say hi, you know.
The
For
last 10 minutes of the show.
All right, so you guys definitely appreciated my list though, right? Like,
No,
yeah,
too damn long.
damn.
I'll say yes. It was long, but yeah,
I'm not doing it.
I'll say yes. It was long, but like I said, the way you have your movies in order, I think we all agree on at least the top five. We may have them in different orders, but we all agree on the top five. It's just the rest of them after that, you know. Like you put Dark Phoenix. This is what I wanted to say. You put Dark Phoenix below Apocalypse.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't. Not the new one. I don't think it's better. I don't think it's worse than Apocalypse.
I think Dark
Honestly,
Phoenix is very underrated.
I
to,
did
to
so.
me, to me, um, like when I watched Apocalypse in comparison to Dark Phoenix was more offensive. You have agenda based stuff on top of the fact that none of the characters are written properly, with the exception of Magneto. You purposely ruined and grounded a storyline for the second time, but you ruined it in a completely different fashion. Two times, and they messed it up. With all you have to show for is one cool fight scene at the end of the movie. No, I'm not okay with that. And apparently, most people were not either, which is
But
why it failed.
Apocalypse have any cool fight scenes?
Well, Apocalypse, like I
No.
mentioned, like I mentioned with the, when he pulled out the nukes and stuff like that. Like I like certain things that he did with his power, but the end fight scene that they had at the movie, like I thought it was okay, but again though, there was a lot of inner working pieces that I found to be ambitious. They just didn't execute it right. So to me, when I can see the inner workings of what you try to do is better than someone that completely changes and ruins everything with no inside vision. There is no execution. You
Yeah,
did
but
nothing.
when you give me a Power Ranger as your bad guy, you fucked it up right there for me.
I mean, he was not a Power
Let's
Ranger.
go
He
Power
was not a
Ranger.
he was not a
Bro,
Power
He's a
Ranger. He was
perp.
Ivan
He's a
Ooze.
he's a
he was
purple sword. A
Ivan Ooze
purple
from
Zordon.
from the Power Rangers, right? So
Right,
yes.
right. Like I mean, well,
He was
yeah.
Zordon.
Like I remember at
Rangers,
first,
Rangers.
I remember at first when they had them kind of purple. That's where the comparisons to Ivan Ooze came into play. But I'm just like, again, I was focusing on the makings of everything around him, and it's just, no matter how you slice it, it's like you drop the ball. But it's like I cannot ignore what you tried to do versus people that didn't do anything with what they had, and they repeated the same mistakes. Like Apocalypse was a first attempt. Dark Phoenix was done for the second time, and even worse in my opinion, because now instead of you having two storylines like how you did in X-Men The Last Stand, you now have one. You only have one thing to focus on, and they still fucked it up.
I don't think they fucked it up as bad as you say they did. It
Okay,
just
well,
wasn't your
let
it
me
wasn't your cup
so
of tea.
so a grand cosmic level storyline completely. Okay, so when you have characters that are you're supposed to have literally billions of characters fighting in space with a
Okay,
large battle to.
I understand what you're saying. It may not be comic book accurate. It may not be what Terrence wanted to see, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. A lot of YouTubers love to say, I'm tired of seeing the same story over and over and over. So they did it the way that they saw it. It wasn't to your liking. It wasn't comic book accurate, or it wasn't canon. But it was something out there, and some people like it. Maybe not as many as they would like to have liked it. Me and Anzo are the two. on this panel that said it's not as bad as people say it is. That's all that
That's it. In terms of it not being as bad as people say it is, that depends on what the humans are saying. What I say is that the movie is trash, and it's also disrespectful to the characters. I'm like, how did you find a way to force agenda cringy dialogue into these characters when in the previous movies they never talk like that? I'm like, there's so much in there. I'm like, why did you do that? Why? There's a lot of why going on.
I
okay
find
because go ahead,
no,
go ahead,
no.
Hansa.
You go ahead first, Danny.
All I was saying is that we know the world changes. Um, 20 years ago, what was acceptable or what was good to go back then is not acceptable and good to go now. You may not like it, but I asked Chris Knight this on one of his shows. How about if females were the dominant person, the dominant person in the social ladder instead of white males? And we were one, and the white males had to go through affirmative action and had to get what they, so to speak, get the scraps or whatever they could get. And then they had an opportunity to make a movie, and then they put their male agenda or whatever. What's the difference? Some of these, I'm not saying all of it, but some of these females, I'm thinking is like, for years now, this is a male dominated profession, male driven. Now we got to turn at the steering wheel. Why can't we put out what we want to put out?
And I would say to them that they have not been watching entertainment because last time I checked, there are plenty of strong female characters that have been around my entire life.
Not as many as men.
I understand that, but see, here's the thing though. Those characters, I don't care whether it's Xena, Buffy, Ripley, Sarah Connor, Max from Dark Angel. I mean, there's so many of them. And then in every horror movie, for the most part, it's the females that stop the demons and stuff. It's not the guys doing that. It's mostly the females. That was the Michael Myers thing. That was the Jason thing. That was the Freddy thing. That's in Hollow Man. I mean, they're all there. They're always there. They either start strong or they get strong by the end of the movie or by the second or third one. They take them out. But the difference being is, I love those characters, but see, they're done in a way to where it's respectable. Those people did not have them say things and make the male characters weaker to elevate the female characters. They were strong because they're strong. They didn't do the Dark Phoenix or even a better example, Batwoman, where all the men are incompetent, which makes it easy for anyone to be better than them. And if you happen to have a female character, they will be better by default. But if anything, that does a disservice to the character, and it's also disrespectful to females because they should be strong because they are strong, not because males are incompetent. So the old school material and some of the new ones like Stargirl, they're strong because they're strong. Stargirl is a beast, but you don't see Icicle and them all stupid and stuff. You don't hear her disrespecting Pat. Oh, you're a male, you're a man. No, she's like, I need you, and the things play out the way they're supposed to be, and you respect the female characters because they're wholesome. They're not doing any of that stuff. You don't have to do that. They didn't do that before, but it's the sign of the times because remember, we live in a cancel culture. Men like myself, there are no men like me. Terrence is the only Terrence, but
We
let's
know
just say
that.
men like me in the sense of tough, don't put up with no BS. You're gonna do and say whatever you want. They consider that toxic. You can't do that. You can't think that, and you can make whatever movie you want, but they choose to cave because there's a couple people in the corner that talk louder than most people. They're smaller in number, but they talk the loudest. So it appears as though their opinion is the majority when it's not. Nobody
But
is
there,
asking for that.
but there was only really one scene in Dark Phoenix that was basically SJWs, and that was
That
when she said the X Men should be X women. But that was it.
that there was that one, and there was also Storm telling him to shut up. She would never say that to Charles. She completely railroaded what he was saying because Mystique said it. Mystique number one should not be leading the X Men. That's BS. especially in the way that it happened.
That I agree.
But but
She should.
but
I agree.
but
She
it's
shouldn't
like
even been good.
right, and then we look at somebody like Beast. The whole nature of why he was combative against Charles is because of something Mystique convinced him of, which was already wrong to begin with. I'm like, that should not happen. I'm like, everything that Charles have done for these people was to help them. They were suffering. Some of them didn't even have food to eat, and Charles provided a home and education, and he did what he thought was right. And these people were happy, and he would always check on them. How you doing? What do you need? So all that sort of I'm randomly upset, let's turn against Charles is stupid, and it makes no sense based off of what the character has done. It doesn't make sense from a narrative standpoint. So I'm like, as you guys know, I love strong female characters when they are strong because they're done right. Like Wonder Woman. That's another example. Which she had a good story. She's not like the rest of the Amazon. She wants to help everybody, men, women, dogs, horses. And when one of her entire team is made up of men, and what happened when one of them was like, "Oh, I shouldn't be here. I got the PTSD. I'm useless." And then she was like, "If you leave, who will sing for us?" I'm like, that is how you're supposed to write them. They're not supposed to be like, "Get out of here. It's a job for a woman. Yeah, you can't do it because you're a man." I'm like, that shouldn't be there because the male characters don't talk like that. You didn't hear Rambo and all Conan and all the rest of them like, "I can do it because I'm a man." They didn't talk like that. They just were their characters. That's it.
Uh, okay.
I get that.
Man said they didn't drop the ball. It was closer to the original story. It was respectful, and I was very happy to see the Fire Phoenix.
The
I was
look,
just
the look of the character has nothing to do with the faithfulness of a cosmic storyline. Anzo, you know that storyline. Do you believe that because the character had fire around her, that that is the equivalent of being faithful to a cosmic storyline?
No, the movie wasn't close to the comic. I mean, the way she got her powers, maybe, but the rest of
yeah,
it,
the
no,
way,
it
yeah, the way
wasn't
she got her power, the way she got her powers was, but the other part, that woman trying to steal the Phoenix Force
really
from
far
her.
from her.
I've never read that part before, but I
Mm.
will say this again. I was not disappointed with um Dark Phoenix. I will watch it again. I will never ever 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 watch Wolverine Origins again.
Or
Um, I,
Apocalypse.
Hey,
I'll be
hey,
hard
hey,
pressed
hey.
to watch
It's
Apocalypse.
not the worst comic book movie ever made. There are plenty that are worse than that. But like as a movie, the movie is okay. It's when I start thinking about X-Men that makes it worse.
Yeah,
But the movie at like I said, I have to be fair and not be biased. I'm like, no, the movie is fine as a
Mhm.
movie, but
yeah. Some of
because
the parts just wasn't consistent. I just
Yeah.
think
right,
that's
right.
a slippery slope and a double-edged sword when people always say, "Well, it's not comic book accurate." And then the next breath they say, "Well, I'm tired of seeing the same old story." You can't have it both ways. I'm just going to make that point. You cannot
You
have it
you
both
and
ways.
you are right with your point, but you guys know that I'm fair. And
I'm
and
not saying
and
that to you. I'm not saying about you.
right, right. No,
I have
I
no
know. I'm just saying.
I
I'm
have
just saying.
no problem with your argument. I'm just saying it as a general statement.
Right.
YouTubers and fans that watch this stuff, some of them saying, "Well, I'm tired of seeing the same old story." How many times are they going to tell about Uncle Ben? How many times are they going to tell about Crime Alley? Or how many times are they going to tell about Superman come from Krypton?
Hmm.
Okay, when somebody does something that's not what they used to seeing, or a little out the park or left field or whatever, don't come whining and complaining because you can't. Just last week you said you tired of seeing the same old story.
Uh,
So
And
that's
I
just my
like
point.
that you brought up Superman too, because he's been done since the 40s. But how much material have they made of him between the cartoons, the live action shows, the live action movies, the anime? Superman has more material than anybody. Period.
I'm gonna tell you one big thing. Spider Man. I have no problem. I have zero problem with young Aunt May.
Right.
She's nice. She's nice for the eyes. Who you
Mm-hmm.
want to be with, Happy or whoever you want to be with, I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't care for that. PD. What you call that thing?
The
Peter
Peter
Pan?
Tingle, that shit
Oh,
was
Peter
cringy
Tingle,
as
yeah.
hell. I'm like, no,
Peter.
no, Spider
Peter Ting.
Sense.
No, Peter Tingle. A Peter
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tingle. Now I didn't care for that shit. They need to get that straight. But a fine Aunt May, I have no problem with that. And it's a little bit different. But I hear some people say, well, that's not my Aunt May. Aunt May's a whore. Okay, look, you can't have it both ways. Or they say that Spider-Man is Iron Man Jr. Okay, you can't have it both ways. We done seen five different movies. If you count Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, and Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, where Uncle Ben is all got killed. Spider Man caught the bad guy. Yada yada yada. With great power comes great responsibility. Okay, how many times you want to see that? We haven't seen that in the new Homecoming and Far Away from Home, and people are complaining. Oh, that's not my Spider Man. That's not okay. Look, how you want to see the same thing over and over? I don't. So
It,
I don't have a problem with Spider Man Far From Home and Homecoming. I think it's
it,
cool.
okay. When it comes to the same thing over and over, it always depends on how one approaches it. So in because certain things they're part of the foundation. I'm like, if you have Bruce Wayne as a kid, how much of that have we seen? Like when Batman Begins came out, that was the most that we've gotten as him as a kid because there was no Gotham yet. In terms of his parents getting killed, how long are you focusing on that? Is it a flashback? Is it a full blown scene? There are ways that you can tackle it to make something familiar feel different, which happens to be with one's creative ability. There's always a way to do it. So to me, as long as you don't focus on it as much, you can get away with that. Like if I were in charge, I'd be like, all right, well, you can show his parents getting killed, just do it in a flashback or something. Like have a scene where Batman is training in a bat cave and he's hitting a bag or something, and then he's sweating and he's mad and stuff, and then it flashes back and he's thinking about his parents getting killed. There you go. You don't have to do 5 minutes. It's enough to where people know, oh shit, that's where his trauma came from. He's still mad about that. That is a plot device, and that's all you need to do. You could do it as simple as that, or whatever way that you want to do it.
Yeah. Okay, it is over the 3 hour mark. We had a good conversation, good discussion. Before we go out, I want to let everyone go around and tell people where they can find them and what streams you may be on in the future, near future, next week, whatever time. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Terrence. Go ahead, Terrence. Tell people where they can find you at, good sir.
Oh, yep. Yeah. What's up, humans? Yep. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Yep. I was very detailed and stuff. I feel like that's important in life. But yep. You could find me here with Danny and Anzo and John, maybe, on our show Equilibrium. And then Monday, you can find me here with Danny. You can find me on my channel, where there are more than 8,600 videos ranging from many, many different things. So, yep, I just like to upload things in my sleep, and you never know what might cross my mind. So, if you're not too close minded, because, humans, they be getting offended and shit like, man, somebody always mad at Terrence. I'm like, what the fuck you mad about? All right. But yeah, sometimes in life, you got to just keep on pushing no matter what the weather condition is. And as long as you have a good jacket, then you might end up somewhere and everything going to be all right in the end.
All right. Anzo, tell the people they can find you at, good sir.
Yes, sir. Bigger Ford Entertainment. That's my channel. I'm doing the three chaotic shows with Danny and Chris. And I'm also doing this show here, Equilibrium. And then we have Square One on Saturdays. And during the week, late nights, we have Rob Storm. So you guys can find us anywhere you want to find us. You know what I mean? Like I said, follow each and every one of us because we're putting out some good content right now.
Well, you ain't got to follow me. I don't give a fuck. But like,
Of course. Yes, you got to follow Terrence, all right? Terrence
I,
is
I, I
playing. Terrence is playing all hard. Yeah, you don't gotta follow me. I don't give a fuck. But you know you want them to follow you, bro.
No.
Hey,
This is not an act. I really don't care. But I do have a question though before Danny goes. So how come I haven't been invited on this Square One show?
okay, we done told you. You want to know? Because we can talk back and forth without being interrupted, and we can not hear one person talk for an hour.
But you
That's why.
But you guys got to talk with me here.
Yeah,
We had
after an hour.
Oh, but I mean, we had a good back and forth with Stargirl, and you guys got to talk and stuff.
Square One is mainly about sports. You don't care about sports. You already told us that.
All that, but I like talking to you guys though. It don't matter what we.
Sports.
But MMA and boxing counts as sports. Last time I checked, so
we don't talk about that. We talk about football and basketball.
But I might have a team or something that I like.
Do you?
Okay, you can talk as long as it's about that. And when it run out, then you into the phantom zone.
Dang,
that a deal?
But how come I'm going into the phantom zone?
Because if you don't know, why are you going to sit there and look if you don't know what to talk about?
Because I enjoy our conversations.
But you ain't going to be talking because you don't know nothing about sports.
I can ask questions. Like you know I'm good at asking questions too, right? Like I can have questions.
I made this conversation. I made that Square One because between you and John, we can't get a conversation in wise. Okay, I've come to realize that. I've come to accept that.
But what about?
Let me finish. And I have zero problem with that. But I'm going to have some word and say on my own show.
But you and Anzo
show. Yeah, me and Anzo, we can hit back and forth just like a tennis match.
But you and Anzo were able to talk today. Like I mean, we were having good feedback, and then
it ain't happening, bro. You are not welcome on Square One.
Damn, Terrence is not welcome.
Not on Square One. I gotta have my safe space. Over there, you come in and take it. You like a roach. I let you in there, and you're gonna take over the show.
And don't feel no way, Terrence, because John's not welcome either.
Nope.
That's John. I'm Terrence. It's different. So like the thing is you know it. I would never
wasting your breath.
But I would never take over your show. That'd be disrespectful. Yeah.
That's a lie. You don't take over this show. You and John.
That is not true. I love you guys' feedback, and I also look forward to what you have to say.
I'm giving you 3 hours on Sunday. I can't give you no more, and an hour and a half on Monday. I can't give you no more.
But Danny, we're brothers, you know.
Shit, you get more than my brothers. One of my brothers do now. I don't even accept his calls. I look and see. I be like, oh, hell no, nope.
Damn. I hope I don't end up like that. You don't accept my calls.
There's one of them, boy. I'd be like, no, sir.
And you see that last comment, Danny?
No. What is it?
Go look at the last comment.
Jared should be on Square One. What the hell you smoking in, George?
but I feel like, you know, with the Terrence input, it would give a certain flavor to the pot of soup.
I like you over here.
Damn. You know, this reminds me of either Charles or Magneto when you got that one mute like, hey man, you know, I'll go over anywhere, and they're like, nah, sir, you're best over here in the Western Hemisphere. You like,
it's kind of like what's that movie with Will Smith and that woman?
You talking about Hancock?
Hancock,
or
yeah.
something else.
You gotta say your distance so you be powerful.
Damn. Wait, how is that the same?
If you get too close or too many shows, man, you're weak in all three of us.
But I think we're stronger together. Remember the equilibrium with the balance of the. Yep, Anzo, don't you think we're strong together? You know, the balance of the equilibrium.
On equilibrium, absolutely.
Yeah. On
On
Equilibrium.
this show,
Oh,
100%.
oh,
We can't do this show without you or John, whatever. You know what I mean? But when it
But
comes to square one, I like,
but but humans love Terrence though. Well, maybe not a lot of them, but you know the
but
humans.
yeah.
Terrence don't give a fuck. Danny and Alzo do.
Well, I
We
mean,
do. We do.
but you
We
guys are
we
family, so
we want subscribers. We want to
Yeah,
get
for
monetized.
real. For real.
well,
Okay.
I can help you. I just grab some
Uh,
people by their
no,
neck and stuff.
not when you saying this is Terrence. And oh, and by the way, if you don't want to subscribe to my channel, then I
I
don't give
don't
a
give a
fuck.
fuck.
No.
Oh,
That ain't,
but
that ain't
don't I still remind the humans like, hey, but y'all subscribe to Danny and Anzo. See.
mm-mm.
You know, when you have that negative person in the bunch, it brings
Negative.
that. Yeah,
Terrence,
cause, yeah,
you
cause
you invite Ninja, you invite Terrence to your show, okay?
Damn, I would like to think that I'm a bright beacon of energy. Like my energy never runs out and stuff. You know?
you
Okay.
are, but when you say you don't give a fuck about subscribers, that's negativity. So when
Okay.
me and Donnie are sitting there saying positive, we want subscribers,
Yeah, we
and you're
want
saying you
subscribers.
don't give a fuck,
Well,
then
well,
it's like, well, they don't give a
but, but
fuck either.
but see, they have to remember the other side. See, if they do subscribe, then they part of the family. It's like thank you. But see, I'm just letting them know that
That you
whatever
don't
they
give a shit.
decide to do
I'm
is
giving you
okay. I respect their decision.
I'm giving you 5 hours a week. You're not getting 7 from me.
5. That's not
Yeah.
even like
We
a
give you
lot.
3 hours. I give you 3 hours every Sunday and almost 2 hours on Monday night. That's 5 hours.
But but with my intellect and my level of knowledge and wisdom,
I doubt your intellect and level of knowledge because you was last week we was on Rod's show, boy. You was on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he was saying, you was counteracting the boy. I was like, damn, Terrence on point.
Mm-hmm. We didn't have to say shit. You lit them up.
Yep. But
I would love to light him up more, but he doesn't invite me. So
yeah, I can't make
Me
nobody
neither.
do the show now.
Me neither.
You have an open invitation to equilibrium and the chaotic conversation. You have I'm gonna have to tell you no to square one.
well, imagine if you had instead of square one, square T. Like now that see that right there, like
Okay.
Well, you know what? How much
Well, let me
subscribers
give
you
you
have? How much subscribers you have on your channel, Terrence?
about
uh
3,000 or something.
When you so
3,942.
so you create Square T, and me and Danny will come on your show.
Yeah, that'll work.
But I don't normally do live streams.
I know, but you got a
Yeah,
channel with a bunch of fucking followers, so you might as well.
man, you got double what I got.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, three thousand nine hundred and forty-two or something like that. But
Shit.
Yeah, and
So
you know the exact number too, right? You're like without
almost
even looking.
almost triple.
Definitely triple me.
well, I mean, see, the thing is, I'm grateful for any humans that like and support me, but at the same time, I'm normally just moving by myself in the wind, so I'm like, I don't really need it, but it's nice. I mean, that's how I am. I'm cool either way. They be like, "Fuck you, Terrence, burn in hell." Like I'm like, all right. And then if they're like, "Yay, we love you, Terrence," if they do any of that, then that's cool too.
and we think you're
Start
cool too.
good as if they had done the proper Phoenix saga. I wouldn't expect to hate it and really tear it apart, but they stayed as close as they could. The Dark Phoenix
Uh,
wasn't it? I
uh,
don't I can't remember the
close.
Phoenix saga. It's been so long.
But that's my thing though. It's not even close. Look, it's their own interpretation of that, but it's not close, right? So I guess a person would have to take it or leave it. That's honestly what it is. I be saying I hate it, but it's more of like it could have been more and it should have been more. And that was their second attempt. And all I'm saying for us X-Men fans is that I do believe that we deserve better. And when Kevin Feige does it, I am very certain that we're gonna get what I wanted to
Yeah,
see 2 times
yeah.
already.
I do think Kevin Feige have a better treatment on it than the
Mm-hmm.
past two. And just like some people hate Venom, I love Venom. It's not the Venom that I'm accustomed to seeing to on TV or in the cartoons,
On
but
the comics.
I understand a multiverse. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the second one would be even better because now they can incorporate Spider-Man into that multiverse, and where possibly him and Eddie Brock could split because of something happened, and he gets on Peter Parker, and then that's how he gets the Spider-Man emblem on his vest, on his skin or whatever, and has the Spidey powers. That
I,
that could happen, but
that's
that's here
true.
or there.
I think that Venom 2 is probably gonna be better.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily hate Venom, but I'm just kind of like first hour bored me, and then a lot
I,
of it was just like
I can
what?
tell you this: I'll watch Venom 10 times over watching Shazam again. I don't want to watch Shazam again.
Oh no no
I
no
was I was
no
thoroughly disappointed in Shazam.
no 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 no. Shazam as a person that has read a lot of those comics, I am telling you that shit was on point. Like I love that shit. Now with Venom, on the other hand,
I got
that
I got Shazam 52.
no, I'm not saying you didn't read it, but I'm just only talking about me. I'm just saying like with Venom though, I'm like that's not Eddie Brock. Where's his cancer? Where's his attitude? How come he doesn't lift weights? There's nothing here. There's nothing. And then the villain was weak. The dude in the suit, I always forget his name
Nice.
because
It's about Doctor
I'm like,
Savannah or whatever.
no, in Venom, the dude like in the suit that was
It's about the
generic.
doctor. The doctor.
Yeah, I'm like,
Mm.
yo, either one of you would have been a better villain than him. I'm like, what?
What are you trying to say? That sounds like a backsided.
No. I'm saying that you guys are more interesting than that comic book character who's supposed to be interesting. That's what I'm saying.
What that
So
sound
that's a
like to you, Anzo?
it's a compliment.
Yeah, it sounded like a backhanded
No,
thing
no,
too.
it's a
And
compliment. You
and
guys,
he's trying to get on square one talking like that, eh?
no. Look. You guys are my brothers, and you guys are interesting. I enjoy talking to you. That guy, I did not enjoy at all. I didn't care about him. I wanted him to die because I'm like, this dude is so interchangeable that he doesn't really need to be here. You can swap him out with countless characters that would have made the movie a little bit better. The writing would have still been bad, but if you would have had somebody else, I don't know, anybody, then but I just the movie was funny and Tom Hardy's performance was good, but I didn't want to see him with that material is what I'm saying. So
Mhm.
hopefully in
It was
Venom 2 it's better and they don't mess
Carlton
up
Dra-
Carnage.
Carlton Drake.
There we go. Carlton boring ass Drake.
Mm.
Yeah, so no. Yeah, no, forget Carlton. I seen Carlton at the grocery store so many times. A dude in a suit and stuff. I'm like, there go Carlton Drake right there. And my friends be cracking up. I'm like, there he go again, right over there getting some fruit. That's Carlton Drake. Go to Staples. There go Carlton Drake again. Oh look, a guy in a Mercedes. There's Carlton Drake again. He was so damn generic. Like, so I love Woody Harrelson. I hope he kills it as Carnage, and I hope that they don't. If they do anything like what they did with Riot and Venom with Carnage, oh man, that's gonna be unfortunate. Like it, I guess somebody could say, "What if the movie's entertaining?" Well, I guess we'll be where Venom One is, since a lot of humans say it was entertaining. I guess, but that's not the type of entertainment that I wanted with those symbiotes. That's not it. They're supposed to be terrifying, not getting kids to go, "Yay, I want to be Venom." It's like you're supposed to be scared of those characters. So we should be scared of Carnage. Like I better not come out the theater and people like, "Yeah, man, he was so cool and I would want him to be my friend." It's like, no, you should be shaking to your boots when you walk out that theater after you see Carnage.
Yeah. I hope
Mhm.
they do better. But this is 24 minutes after, and I'm gonna go ahead and close. My name is Danny. My channel is Comic Chats. You can find me at Comment Chats 2 on Twitter. Please, if you get a chance, I am trying to get my 4,000 hours. So if you can go on my channel on YouTube, Comment Chat, and click on the playlist, just listen to 1 hour. I don't care. Anything will help. Right now I'm about 3,100 hours. I'm trying to get to 4,000 hours. So
We could do a 10-hour stream.
No, hell no. Also, you can find me tomorrow night on my channel here. And the name of the show is The Chaotic Conversation. We'll be doing a top something. I got to think of something between now and then.
Better make it 5 and not 10 or 12.
No, I'm not making it 10. I'm never going to 5.
Oh, wait. Hang on.
No, not because of you,
Hey.
of you, Terrence. It's because I have 5 people on there. There's no way I'm going to listen to 5 people list 10 things. Hell no.
Okay, like I mean what I said. I do mean what I said, Danny. Like if I'm with you and you want me to keep it within the guidelines, I could do it short or long, either or, whatever
Short.
you want. The short is fine. Like that doesn't bother me. Like you
never long, short.
Gotcha. But yeah, that is fine. I can respect that, and I can easily do that. That's fine.
I want a Phantom Zone short.
Yeah. That's fine. Like I've given you
over the time you're going in the Phantom Zone. I want that short.
Well, yeah. Oh, come on. Like you know, I'm easy to work with. If you want me to,
okay. I'm gonna test you tomorrow night.
Wait, why'd you say it like that? It sounds like you don't believe me.
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
But then he said, "I'm going to test you."
I am a fact finder. This video right here will prove everything that I said is true. Ian also took maybe 15, 20 minutes with our list. You took 1 hour and 3 minutes.
I'm not denying that, but you guys.
I deal in facts. I don't deal in no bull crap.
I know that, Danny. I very much know and appreciate that. But you guys were interacting and you were laughing, so I figured it was fine. I mean,
okay.
I mean, were you guys not like at least entertained or something?
What do you want us to say?
Say Terrence. Say Terrence.
Terrence, your show today and your list was fine. I prefer in the future that you keep it more brief.
Yeah. Of course, Danny. I understand.
Is that acceptable, Mr. Terrence?
I was hoping you would say we'd have a 10-hour stream, but
no. If that acceptable.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was never not acceptable.
If you fail to do that, I have permission to put you in the Phantom Zone. Correct?
What up, Ghost?
Well, yeah,
but it took him to say yes, though. He was like, yes.
Hey, look, I'm just playing around with you guys. I understand.
Yeah, we know, bro.
Yeah. What I want you to do, I'm gonna send you like not the link to join, but the link to watch. Square One next Saturday. Damn, they flowing so smooth and going back and forth. Oh my god, I want to be able to do that. But I'm gonna say that you and John. I'm gonna say this is how you do a stream.
But we've always had like fire streams and stuff together. See, that's because of my ability to speak and stuff, and it flows with the nature of the topics.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. Oh shit.
No. Danny, trust that it's all good. I understand. Of course, I get what you mean. No worries.
I got you. We good, bro. Let's see. Tomorrow night is Chaotic Conversation. Tuesday night, Anzo's new show, The Chaos List. Then Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be The Rule of 3. And then Saturday will be Square One. And then next Sunday, same bat time, same bat channel, we'll be back here for Equilibrium. Thank all y'all for joining us. We appreciate it. I really appreciate your support.
Mm-hmm.
Have a safe and good Sunday evening, and we will talk at you later.
3, 2, 1.